And hello, and welcome to Roll with Advantage. My name is Joe, and welcome to the Isles of Iverion campaign, coming at you every Saturday. So, just as a quick update before we kind of get into it, roll the intro here. Jamie is going to be a little bit late today, so Grok is going to be a little bit late today. Hopefully should be here within the next half an hour or so, but we're going to go ahead and get started anyway. So, yeah, I know. My hair is very fluffy today. I've got a wonderful coif right now. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and roll the intro and get started. All right.
Because then, it just has no idea.
All right. So for the summary today, do Quilp summary, and then I'll do the real summary. I just want to hear what Quilp thinks happened last session.
Okay, cool. Absolutely. Not a problem.
All right. Let's hear it.
Oh, we're ready. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it all got very confusing, and we were kind of going through the town, and they'd asked us to go and see what was causing all the zombies, but and there were zombies everywhere, but then we found this building, place that went down the Underdark somewhere, and that's where Grok met his, well, I think it's a friend, but this friend, I'm not sure, it's this lady, and then he tried to shoot with a big cannon, and then there was this big crash, and half the cavern started falling down, and then there was this kind of weird noise, and this massive great bug thing kind of arrived, and then Grok blew something up, and it was just all over, and now I feel him jumping around all over, and eventually this big bug thing kind of died, and I kind of didn't really see what happened until right at the end, because I found this like teleport machine thing that was quite interesting, and then everyone got very angry for a while and started talking about to the lady, and then they all decided that she could kind of hang around, and that's kind of all that really happened, really, and yeah, that's about it. I hope that clears everything up for you.
Yeah, kind of hit the nail on the head there. Thanks, Quilp. So, yeah, all of that happened, and now the party is kind of in this middle ground right now. As after defeating the Breed Mother, that giant insect creature that burst out of the ground, and forcing Geldevan, the friend of Grok, who was shot at with the cannon, after sort of getting her to go back and bring some life back into the forest and reverse all the decay that she had done, they now have a few days before the festival, the Festival of the Harvest's End. So currently about 3 days away, but before we get there, apparently there's some stuff that needs to happen before we can get to the fun times of the festival. So, with that, picking right up where we left off, the group of you had all traveled outside of the gates of Highland Pass in order for Geldevan to right her wrong and bring life back to the forest, and she did. Just as you all told her to do, she took the flower, the lily of the valley, channeling the magic through her into the forest and greenery around her, and she brought life back to it. Turning the trees from that sort of mushy bark into the hardened trees that they once were. These wonderful purple leaves begin to grow back, sort of breaking off from the breeze of the heavy winds in the higher mountain regions, swirling around all of you and then sort of flying off into the distance down towards Isinalor. But as of right now, you all... Festival's not yet. Let me turn on this music.
Festival will wake.
Festival all week. It's like Mardi Gras. It's just a party all the time. Okay. So, at this point now, it is very, very late at night. Probably, 11, midnight almost at this point. The cold is really starting to get to all of you. Even though it's still November, it's not the height of winter at all. Given the high altitude of Highland Pass, everything is already sort of caked in snow. And it is just freezing up here. So, Geldovan, repairing the forest. Eventually, you all get to maybe 15, 20 feet away from where the guards could see you approaching. And Geldovan kind of stops. Her, hobgoblin, deep red skin, she kind of crossing her arms over her chest. She begins to speak and stops moving as you get closer, and she says, do you want me to come back in with you? Grok, you had told the guards that I was part of the traveling peoples, so I don't want them to think it's suspicious that I'm coming back in. See, Grok kind of look towards all of you, and he narrows his eyes a little bit and looks back towards Geldovan, and he says, no, you're coming back with us. We'll go inside, and you're staying with us. And sort of not even looking for approval, just says that, unless anybody has any sort of objections.
We'll say, you should do whatever you want to. Don't worry about it.
And you can kind of see that she looks down at you, and she sort of looks over her shoulder behind her. I'd like to come with all of you, if that's all right.
Late.
Of course.
It's late. We need to get back either way, so if you're coming, let's go.
Okay. And she will follow. Alrighty. So, with that, as you do make your way back in, you can see that the captain of the guard is waiting there for you, just about to finish up her shift. And she does inform all of you that there is a tavern nearby, an inn close to Lady Lapierre's estate, that you all are invited to stay in, free room and board. Oh, Kit, you got a funny noise happening right now. I don't know what that is. Oh, I think it's just traffic.
That's such... Yeah, that's traffic, sorry.
Oh, okay. No, you're good,
Next
you're good. So she informs you that there's an inn close to her estate that all of you are free to stay at. Where there are already room and board waiting for you. So she sort of directs you towards it.
How does everyone in town look? Like, starting to kind of I mean, I know it's late, but, like, do they look sad or content, I guess? Or...
Yeah, morale's definitely not high. That's for sure. It's just, there are people kind of picking over some of the ruined areas, because you can see several of the buildings closer to the gate were attacked by the insectoids and kind of taken apart and destroyed. And you can see several of these insectoid corpses still sort of littering the area. And so people are kind of picking over the ruins. You can see that, people are looking for loved ones, trying to get items from their houses that were destroyed. So yeah, no, not great right now.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's necessarily happy in this current moment.
Okay. Then, I mean, if it's that late and it's been a really long day, Nalfin's just kind of try to hurry everyone along so we can get back to our rooms, I guess, or introduced to them for the first time.
Okay. Yeah. So she directs you, just head straight south, looking for Lady Lapierre's estate, and it's the Wise Lantern Inn. And heading that way, eventually following Lady Lapierre's estate, it's very easy to see. Eventually you do see a very wide stone building, seemingly almost carved out of the ground below it, and a sign hanging from in front of the door, and you can see what looks to be a bullseye lantern, and then over the hole for the bullseye seems to be like a little monocle there. So as you make your way in to the inn, you can see that there's not a lot of people in here right now. Maybe 3 or 4 just kind of sitting in different booths all tucked along the walls. Everything in here sort of carved and made from stone. Like I said, just seemingly as if everything was trimmed around it, and this was just kind of built from that. There are some tables that are made of wood, and there's a bar that sort of wraps around the back. And you can see a halfling woman with several chins make her way around the bar, wearing a very clean white apron and very simple, thick woolen clothes, sort of approach all of you and begins to speak and says, "Oh, I was told of your arrival by Lady Lapierre. All of you did a great thing. Let me take you up to your rooms. Is there any type of, maybe, foods you'd like for breakfast so I can be sure to stop and get those this evening?"
Nalfin just kind of looks exhausted and looks at everybody and then looks at Twig for a second. Anything without any meat in it would be fine.
"Oh, of course. Not a problem. Well, here, follow me." And she takes you around the stairs and walks up. And there are 3 rooms here that she kind of gestures to and gives Nalfian just hands you 3 keys and allows you to delegate where those go. So each room has 3 beds made of stone, covered in a light.
Oh, comfy.
Yeah, with these sort of almost like feather comforters on top, and then a wool blanket on top of that. And then, feather pillows as well. So it is a bit of a higher class establishment, but,
okay.
Stone is still stone. So, but yeah. So with that, it's kind of up to you to decide which rooms go where. 2 of them are a suite. So one is across the hall. The other 2 are next to each other, connected by a door. So between the 2. So it is up to you kind of where you want to stay.
Quilp would have, once you stepped inside the tavern and talked to the lady and everything, he's kind of been hanging out at the back, and then as you've gone up the stairs and been shown, he'll just say, "Oh, well, I'll be seeing you in the morning then, and you'll sleep safe." And he'll kind of turn around and look as it's heading straight back down the stairs again.
All right. Nalfin just takes a deep breath. He's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna die tired of dealing with stuff today." He will hand Eurydice a key. But he's not really saying anything to her. He very much remembers the conversation they just had. So just nonchalantly will toss it her way. Um, and kind of looking to Grok and Galdivan. If there's 3 beds in one room, he's definitely thinking it's probably safer that she's in the same room with the 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then Den just gets a room to himself. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Okay. So
he deserves.
yeah. So he'll take the 3rd key. And then actually, Quilp, as you're kind of heading off, Den is gonna kind of like just stop you and be like, "Oh, Quilp, do you mind? I know that you probably planned on coming back tomorrow morning, but there's something that I'd like to talk to you about. I had a thought as we were out there in the forest, and I'd just like to pick your brain about something. Is that all right?"
He kind of looks downstairs towards where he was heading, just a little bit uncomfortable, and looks up at you. No, of course, Dan. Yeah, that's fine. Of course.
If you'd like, I can meet you somewhere instead.
No, it's better that we deal with what's in front of us. So, Master Din, yeah, of course, my time is yours now, and I'm sure what has happened is not going to get any worse before I get there. At least let's hope that.
All right. Well, good. Well, then I'll see you tomorrow morning, and then after I pick your brain, whatever you need help with, I'll help you do, okay?
Oh, I thought you wanted to talk to me now, but no, that's
no.
a very good plan.
I'm very tired. I can wait till the morning.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, well, in the morning I will be here. Crack of dawn, don't you worry, I'll be back.
And by
Get
the way,
some sleep.
Quilp, it's friend Brandon. You don't need to call me master.
Of course, I
right.
forgot myself.
No, it's all right. And he just kind of laughs and pats you on the shoulder. And then with that, we'll let you head out.
He just scurries down the stairs.
Okay. Cool. So, with that, all of you take your rooms for the night. And
Nelfin would say his good night to Twig. But it's very short tonight. That's all.
okay, cool. Alrighty. So, with that, we then advance time to the 14th of Hearthfire. At this point, 3 nights away from the Harvest Inn Festival. So, with that, 6:30, bright and early in the morning. Obviously, Din wanted to talk to Quilp, but I also know that, Lisa, you said that there was something that you wanted to do, like, ASAP.
Yeah, like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Yuri's barely slept at all. She's leaving before Twig is even up. Not giving Twig a chance to know she's up. And she is going to grab a cloak or something.
Okay.
And she is going to walk out of the gates of Highland Pass.
Oh, okay.
And she's going to walk not too far, but far enough. So that anyone at the gate isn't going to hear what she's doing or saying or really be able to see her that well. And I'm guessing it's pretty cold.
Oh, yeah, it's very cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, bright and early in the morning. I mean, there's a little bit of heat because of the sun, but it's not a scorcher, that's for sure. Yeah.
Okay, Yuri is going to walk out.
Okay.
She's holding this flame in her hand, very, very small, just because she doesn't want to freeze immediately. She is going to shout into this... She is going to say... At this point, I know you can hear me. Okay? So you're listening. You are going to come and you are going to talk to me on neutral ground, not in asphodel, not in my sleep. Nothing like that. You're going to talk to me here. You're going to come and do it now, or I'm going to stand out here and I'm going to let myself freeze to death. And it's going to be your fault. I am not moving till you come and talk to me. She is going to stand there. She is going to wait until day shows up.
Okay. So, you wait for maybe 30, 45 minutes, sort of sitting there, freezing, teeth chattering. And eventually, along the road, you can see somebody walking, wearing thick, heavy furs and wolves, backpack on their back. And as soon as they're about parallel to you walking along this path, they stop. And they turn towards you. And they pull back the hood. And you can see copper skin, long black hair, finely trimmed black beard, and a small, curved mustache. And you can see this man smile, a form that you know rather well. He begins to walk closer. Okay.
She's gonna get up. She's gonna like start walking towards him, not running, not being quick or anything, just start walking.
Okay. And he'll meet you halfway. And kind of smile at you and say, "Well, must be rather important. You're willing to sit out here and wait." But, as it turns out, this isn't as out of the blue for me as you might think. I was actually coming to talk to you.
Right, well, didn't want to be caught off guard again
Of course.
in my sleep.
I, for one, am quite a fan of festivals. I thought I would surprise you then, but so be it. I'm here now, so let's talk. I'll let you go first, and then I'll say what I had to say.
Okay. It was cold. I was going to be chewing your ear off about how locking a child away for 15 years usually isn't the best way to teach compassion. How it's a bit of a not great move to, catch someone at their lowest so they make a life-altering agreements. But I'm willing to let that go because I need to make favor from you.
All right.
There's a hobgoblin in town. Her name is Geldervin. And she, according to her, is probably not going to last a fortnight because of House Markle and the fact that she failed them the task. I need you to keep her safe. That's what I need, because I said a lot of things that I didn't mean, and acted how I shouldn't have, and she doesn't deserve to die. I need her to be safe. I just need that favor from you. Maybe even as just a way to say, hey, I'm sorry for leaving you locked up.
Fine. I'll agree to this. I just have a few questions. This Geldervan, you said House Markle wishes to kill her. Why is that?
He agreed to help them to release this brood mother creature and run Tarkia with these zombies. We stopped her. She's failed, and she said that they'd be coming after her. So there was no way to keep her safe. We couldn't keep her safe. The only way I could think to keep her safe was you.
Interesting. Very interesting. Do you know what House Markle's plan is?
Honestly, I don't know entirely. If you know, you could tell me. It'd be really helpful.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
They've been trying to bring something back. They've been trying to raise House Markle again with all this necromancy. Been trying to stop it. They don't seem too happy about that.
Never been a fan of necromancy. Too garish. Do you... And I know this may seem like a strange question, but there are strange days ahead. Are they acting independently?
No, I don't think so. There's ties to a lot of things to do with the Dowie, and then things happening in the Underdark. So,
The Dowie, yes. The ancient subspecies of dwarves, right? The ones that you've been so
Yeah.
connected to. It's very interesting, you know. I've tried to do my own research in the libraries of Dis and Asphodel, Nessus. And I found nothing on these Dowie. Nowhere in the Nine Hells could I find a single bit of information. At least truthful information. I found pointless tomes discussing their ties to fate. Of all things, truthfully. No. These items you and your companions have found. So much more than fate. I ask because things are changing, Eurydice. Things are changing much faster than I ever thought they would, in directions I never saw them going. Say what you will about me, and as much as I wish it, I have no powers of foresight. All I do is I see the path that certain people are taking, and I try and plan accordingly. You are interesting, because you show compassion, even to someone as evil as this cultist. Call her what she really is. A cultist that had a change of heart, maybe. Cultist nonetheless. And it seems as though even those most closely tied to their enemies can still have a change of heart. And it seems as though something very similar might be happening. Do you remember, many weeks ago, I told you of a woman far off in the Salamander Coast?
yeah, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it, really. The name was Bianca, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was. The interesting thing is, and this is the difference between demons and devils, so I play chess. The best way to think about it. It is a patient game, planning your moves 7 moves in advance. Just waiting. Never pushing, never prodding, just waiting. Planning. Demons, they play tug of war. They yank and pull and try and rip and tear to make sure that what they get is what they want. And I thought that this Isin might be different, but, well, word has gotten to me that Isin is getting impatient. It's only a matter of time before this Bianca I've kept a close eye on. This Bianca turns her back on Isin. And even more pressing than that is the current path this Bianca is going down. She and her companions have become tied to an entity. Say that much. An entity that I have no love for. In fact, a great deal of hate. I like my place in the world. I like the power I have. And what I don't like is when people try and take that from me. And I see this Bianca as less of an enemy now. And in all honesty, more of an ally. I think what might be nice is there may come a time in the fate of history that is still yet to come where a partnership may be necessary. I don't know when that is, but I want you to be aware that this woman, I have a feeling that she will no longer be your enemy. And you can see him kind of chuckle. And I'll be the first to admit, I was wrong. And he kind of shrugs with a little smirk. I still will be enjoying the festivities. Should you need me, I have a friend on the south side of town that I'll be staying with. Is there anything else?
So, I now don't need to kill her? That's okay. Right, good. Gildervin, she's going to be safe. Yes, she's going to be... Promise she's going to be fine.
Oh, I
And keep her safe from Hasmoko.
Just tell her to leave the city by the south exit to Tarkir, and I'll make sure to have eyes there waiting for her, and I'll find someplace safe for her to be.
I'm insight checking that.
Okay, make an insight check, yeah.
Don't trust him. He's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna keep her in hell or something.
Well, where else is safer?
Ooh. Hogwarts.
Hogwarts.
Okay, that was an 18.
18? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very hard man to read. In his human form, it is easier. But still, it's just... I mean, it seems like he's being genuine and honest. But, you know, it's one of those things where you're not sure if you think that because you want to believe him or because he's actually telling the truth.
Okay. I'm gonna, like, be eyeing him a little bit and then just nod. Just not take her down to Dis or something.
No, not Dis. I have a few friends in the material plane who... they're always willing to have an extra set of hands to help. And they'll keep her safe. Should worse comes to worse, I suppose Asphodel or Nessus would do. I don't know how much they'd enjoy it, but they would be safe.
Right.
You seemed upset a little bit ago, confused. You wanted to kill this Bianca?
No, I didn't. Didn't want to kill her at all. I was just feel like I'm getting pulled around a lot. I was struggling with this idea that there was this woman who was gonna come and eat in my sleep or something because she'd maybe know that I was supposed to be going after her, and then you just kind of come along and be like, yeah, no, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. My bad. You don't have to kill her now. It's not nice. It's really not. It's
Not nice.
you're just a bad person. You're just I really
and you're
dislike
surprised about that?
you. I'm not surprised. I guess I wish you were something else.
Well, Eurydice, I'm so sorry to inform you. I am who I am. You are who you are. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that there were some very, very mean thoughts about that Geldervan. This person. Very mean thoughts. Malicious, evil thoughts. Not the first time you've had those, either, might I remind you. So you can curse me, you can yell at me, you can attempt to shame me all you want, but remember, you and I aren't that different. Sure, you have love and compassion, but how long is it until those run out? How long is it before a friend of yours says something you don't like and you scream, leaving them locked in a building and letting it burn down?
This is not the same as that. I didn't. You.
Oh, shh. It's all right. I forgive you.
You don't have to forgive me. I don't want you to forgive me. I burned those buildings for you.
And I forgive
I
you for
thought
doing
maybe
it.
the first one was okay. I thought that was fine. And then what if she was just keeping me away because she knew what I was? And you decided to come along just as I was angry. Just like you decided to come along and offer me hell right after Nalfion said what he said. Burned, yeah, sure. I burned my aunt to death. Sure, I burned down the temple. I only did the temple because you told me to. Didn't get any joy from that. I hated it.
See him exhale and just kind of stare at you for a moment. All right. And
What?
what do you want? I'll
Maybe
keep this
if you leave me
Geldervan
alone.
safe. You want me to leave you alone?
Well, keep Geldervan safe and then just.
If that's what you want, that's what I'll do. Just remember, Eurydice, I might be a bad person. I'm fully willing to admit that I'm evil. I do bad things. I hurt people. I manipulate people. I make them do what I want. But remember this, Eurydice. I do what I do to protect myself and to protect even those who would wish to see me destroyed. Just because I'm evil doesn't mean I'm selfish. Sometimes evil people are necessary to do what it takes to survive. So remember, the next time you're facing down a creature that you haven't seen of or heard of before, other than in children's nightmares, remember that in that moment, you might want someone evil, someone willing to do what it takes to survive. But, my dear, it's a little chilly out here, and I'd like to get in to see my friend. I'm sure they've missed me, and, well, can't get rid of me yet. We still have to see the festival, don't we? You're going to do great things, Eurydice. You're going to do great things. And I am already very proud of you for what you've done so far. Don't forget that. But, as all rebellious teenagers need, you need space. I accept that. See you at the festival, my dear. With that, and just kind of turn, start walking away.
Harry's not gonna say anything.
Okay. Alrighty. So as eventually he gets out of earshot and eyesight, how much longer are you kind of staying out here to give some distance? So that way that awkward thing doesn't happen where you're like, okay, bye, and then you both start walking the same way.
30 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe up to an hour or something. And then she'll walk back to the tavern and try to warm up because she's very cold.
Okay. All right. So before we get there, we're waking up bright and early in the morning. At this point, about maybe 6 o'clock, 7, right with the sunrise. And Quilp, after spending quite a bit of time last night, going from street to street, especially near where you grew up and had been living, luckily your street in particular wasn't too affected. It wasn't great. There was still some undead that leaked out and some insectoids that got here, but at least within the narrow stretch of maybe a block or two, nobody in that area that you knew personally was killed. Some people were gravely wounded, large cuts and gashes, but easy enough for you, knowing that healing magic that you have, you are able to use whatever spell slots you had left to prevent anyone from dying. And you can see there's this older man, thick, bushy white mustache, and sort of these wispy dark gray sideburns, who actually had this huge lash against his chest, seemingly from one of the Tlinkali's swords. And you can see that he was just barely hanging onto life, bandages wrapped around. And you know this man, Tom. He was always kind to you, where some people would sort of mock you. He would be somebody who actually cared and would ask how you were doing and if there was anything he could do to help you. And as you sort of walk up to him that night, you can see that he's definitely fading. His eyes are kind of opening and closing. And as you sort of kneel down next to him to channel that magic, you can see that he kind of blinks. And after the magic is done, he sort of looks at you and kind of shoots air out of his mouth to get the mustache hairs out of there, and Is that Quilp? Is that you?
That's right, Master Tom. No, don't you worry. You just lay back there. Nothing too bad. And you'll be fine. Everything's better in town now. So, there's nothing to worry about.
Oh, very good, very good. Thank you, Quilp. Happy to have you back.
Ah, indeed. Well, it's really nothing to worry about, but you settle yourself down there, and I'm gonna take a little turn round, see if I can find any of those unfortunates that might be around and about and not so lucky as you are, eh? To have made it through so well. And, yeah.
And he just kind of smiles and sits up a little bit. And there are a few people that rush over to him, get him to start drinking some water, eating some food, now that he can finally stomach it. And you continue on your way. And you do that for the rest of the night till you...
He'll just...
Yeah.
Yeah, and when he sees dawn starting to arrive, he'll start heading back to the tavern, which the others are at. So he's there in the morning.
Sure. So with that, as you are beginning to wake up, or not wake up, as you're beginning to starting to get a little groggy from staying up all night, you do make your way back to that inn, and you see that Din is there, bright and early, just sort of sitting, eating what looks to be some eggs and bacon, just taking some small bites, drinking what seems to be a very hot liquid. You can see the steam sort of rising off of it. He takes a sip. He has like a book next to him, just sort of flipping through the pages, reading it. And you can see that no weapon or armor near him. He's wearing very, very fine clothing, and in contrast from the greens and whites he was wearing, you can see that he now has this like deep burgundy like woolen coat on. That the color's very fetching on him, and kind of flips back and forth from some pages. And as he's taking a sip, he sort of sees you come in. And he says, "Oh, Quilp, come on over."
Quilp will kind of shrug a bit of the snow off and kick his boots on the mat, scamper over and climb up. And he looks weary. His eyes behind the glasses are even bigger, so kind of look across at Din. I said I'd be back in the morning, and it's nice to be back in the warm again.
Well, Quilp, it looks like you didn't get...
You're looking very smart, my friend. Look at you in your lovely green coat.
Thank you. Quilp, it doesn't look like you got an hour of sleep last night.
Oh, well, things to do, things to do, and that's okay. I mean, I can sleep during the day, I'm sure. There's not zombies running around causing trouble, so I just got what I needed to get done, and now I'm here, and you said you had some words you wanted to have with me, and what would that be, Master Din? Oh, sorry, I'm friending.
Yes, well, I had a few questions for you, and I hope you might be able to give me some insight on them.
I'll do my very best, but I don't know much, but what I do know is yours.
Well, great. You had shared with us when you first met up with us back in Isen of Lore, by that camp, that you had seen a vision of some sort, right?
Indeed. Yes, I did. I saw you. I didn't know it was you then, but I saw people sitting around the campfire, and I kind of knew that I had to go and find you. So yeah, I'd say it was a vision indeed.
What else did you see? You saw all of us, and...
Indeed, and there was a place as well. There was a fiery wood and a kind of entranceway to something, and I'm still not entirely sure, but I think it might have been something to do with what we were all heading towards before we kind of got diverted and ended up back here again. So, I mean, I think now that there's a little more time, I'm kind of planning to see if I can maybe meditate a little and see whether I get a little bit more clarity about what that was all about. Because, I mean, obviously I was meant to be there and help you, and maybe do my little bit in keeping you all alive so you could defeat that big bug thing, but I must admit I've got no idea whether I've done what I was supposed to or not, really. So I need to think about that a bit. Why do you ask, anyway?
Well, it was... I woke up rather early, before everyone else, and there were a few shops that were open, and I went to a smaller library I could find. Because it was something Geldervan said yesterday. That entity that the Dowie had told her about. The ones that they had, that were trapped in the wall. Anyway, I wanted to go talk to them. And from what she said, it seemed like that area where you were supposed to go is the same place where those Dowie were. That ruin in Isinalora. But the reason I really want to ask is because they talked about an entity that they were working for many, many, many thousands of years ago. And I tried to find books or information on it. And in all honesty, I couldn't find much. And I remember that you shared with us some of the words, and I was just wondering if there was anything else from it, because you said, I wrote it down when you said it, it seemed important to me. You said that the flame had spoken to you. You said, relight the flame, hold back corruption in the flame. House Markle must not rise.
You're very wise, and I do remember that. I'd kind of focused on the House Markle part, because that seemed to be what you folks were so interested in. And we'd done something about that already, I think, if unless I'm completely confused. But yeah, the flame, corruption in the flame, and maybe that's got something to do with where we were heading first.
Well, I think you may be right. My concern is, so, and you can see him kind of snapping, and like his brain is going at like 100 miles an hour right now as he's just thinking. I think that there might be something more to this, because you know how, being somebody skilled in medicine, how if you get a cut or a laceration or something, if you don't heal it and you don't give it the proper medicines and healing agents, then it'll start to get infected.
Yeah, indeed, that's very true.
Obviously,
it needs cleaning.
Fire is something that is used to clean wounds in rather dire circumstances. But what does it say if the flame is corrupted?
So the thing that's supposed to be cleaning is actually going to be doing more corrupting. Is that what you mean?
Well, I don't know. That's why I wanted to ask to see if you had any insight on flame, and I don't know. You're the one who said the words, so I was wondering if there was anything else there.
I am. I must admit, flame is not something that I've had much of a natural affinity with before now. I've always been more interested in rocks and earth, but I do know that flames are one of the kind of, you might call it the kind of foundational elements of the whole entire universe. So they certainly have their place to play, and I think maybe if I meditated a little more upon flames and maybe try to reproduce maybe what I did before, maybe that would help.
Maybe.
Something might come.
Would you mind, and it's all right if you say no, I understand if it's more of a private thing, but would you mind if I meditate with you? I just like to...
No.
No.
No, not at all. Is there has they got a candle or something like that around here? We could give it a go right now if you're feeling like it. And it's really no big deal. It's just a way of reaching out and connecting with the energies around you. So it can be done anywhere.
Oh, amazing. I've never tried meditating, really, but I'd be happy to try right now. Vola.
I find it terribly useful in calming the mind. Oh, friend Alf, if you fancy a bit of this as well, it takes a certain kind of training, getting a kind of knack of it. But once you got it, you can just slip into it easy as you like.
Oh, well, fuck it, why not?
Indeed. Maybe that. Yes, well, if there's a candle. Oh, thank you.
You can see the halfling woman kind of comes over, Din shouting at her Vala. She brings it over, sets it down on the table, and says, "Oh, here's a candle. Enjoy," and walks away. Thank you, Vala. Thank you. All right.
I'm not quite sure. No one really taught me how to do it, but all I really do is if you just kind of concentrate on that flame a little with your eyes and just let your eyes just be part of the flame. Does that make any sense? Like you're just kind of letting the mind. And I realise, friend Din, and he reaches over and pats his hand, this might be hard for you. You need to start thinking. Just allow all those. I mean, I can see it behind your eyes all the time. They're whizzing away in it. Well, little cogs, but just let it stop, and just let your mind drift and focus in on that flame. And while you're in there, just to let yourself kind of go through the flame, and once you've been practicing a while, you just kind of feel like you are the flame and you're kind of everything at the same time. And I know that sounds very complicated, but it's really so simple. So simple. So here we go. Now just put your hands on the table or anywhere you want. Just make sure you're nice and comfy. Give your butt a little wriggle in the seat. That's it. Okay.
Okay. All right.
No more thinking.
Okay.
Just
no more
looking.
thinking. And you see him start to breathe. And then slowly open and close his eyes and start to look in towards the flame. Same as you. Nalfian, are you doing the same?
Yeah, he's very skeptical, but it's been a very fun thing for him to watch, so he's just gonna try it anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Very cool.
Well, Quilp's not casting any spells or anything like that, but this is something that he does a lot, and he just goes straight in his meditative state, and in his head he is no longer sitting there in that tavern. That's all gone, and he's floating through the universe, kind of seeing constellations and the spirals of galaxies, and it's just out in a completely different sphere where he no longer exists. He's just part of absolutely everything.
Okay.
Waiting.
I would like Din and Nalfian to make a wisdom check with disadvantage, but Quilp, go ahead and make just a straight wisdom check.
Okay. Yeah, because for Nalfian, him meditating is something very different. So he's kind of like in a very different headspace. He's also not here, but
Din is way too. Din has a 2 + 1, so Din is definitely. He keeps peeking open one eye to look at Nalf and look at Quilp, and closes it and breathes, and he almost gets there, but then he's a little too lost in thought. 17, okay.
oh, with disadvantage.
Yeah, disadvantage. Clunk. Okay. Ooh, all right.
Oh, well, mine was a lot better.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, 4 + 5.
3
9.
friends just holding hands at the table.
I'm not reaching enlightenment today. I'm distracted by some pretty stars.
Yeah, as soon as you start to see the constellations and the swirling galaxies, you can hear this bursting in through the door of "Hey, I need Miss Space Cider! Where's Miss Space Cider?" And you hear the halfling barmaid, "I just sit the fuck down and I'll get it to you in a second, you bloody oaf! Hey, fuck you!" He sits down, and there's just too much. There's just too much screaming in here, Quilp. And as soon as you almost get there, it's just shattered, and you kind of fall through the universe until you open your eyes back, and you're back at the table, and the flame is actually extinguished.
I've never tried doing this in the tavern before, and obviously the universe doesn't want to be communicated with right now, because that gentleman over there had a more urgent need of it. But maybe we could try again in a more peaceful environment.
Maybe we could. I know it might be dangerous, but maybe we could go to that Dowie ruin and try there.
Well, if you think it would be safe.
You mean back in
it was quite a long
Isla
way away.
You want to go back there?
Well, maybe after the festival. I don't know. I think that it's worth checking out. You know.
I still have my leaf.
Right.
That makes things go faster.
I think Twig would enjoy that as well, so it might not be that bad of an idea.
Oh, look at that family vacation.
Well, aren't there dangerous things there though? That was something, or was that the bug creatures?
It was mostly the bug creatures. There were still those
we
who
don't
were
know.
The fiery
cultists.
wild animals. So might want to avoid those, but without the insectoids, it should be pretty peaceful getting there.
Well, I must admit, friend, and it does feel a little bit like a loose end that hasn't been tied up, doesn't it? So, and I was a little concerned about it when we turned our path away from there. So it would be nice to see what's happening with the flames, indeed.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much, Quilp. I appreciated you allowing me to pick your brain.
I can only apologise that at this moment the universe doesn't want you to be meditating upon the flame, but as I say, we might be able to find another time when it works more well.
Of course. And I think I only have one more question, and this one is kind of a Hail Mary. It's kind of out there, so if you happen to not know, that's very fine and well, but and well, Nalfian, and you can see that he kind of tenses up a little bit, seeing that Nalfian's here. You might... Sorry,
he didn't mean to crash the party. He was just vibing.
No, he was like, you might also have some insight on it, but it's a little I know that it could be. I'll just ask.
Indeed.
When the two of you were living where you came from, and you can see him kind of cringe at his own phrasing of the question.
In the Underdark, you people from around here usually say. Although technically I wasn't quite in the Underdark. Although I was, well, you certainly must have been born and raised down there.
What's your question, Din?
Brendan Matthew.
My question is, when you were there, was there any talk of or stories about this entity that Keldavan said that Dowie brought up? This dark one? I couldn't find any books anywhere in here about it. Only place I haven't checked is Lady Lapierre's library.
I don't know so much for Quilp. I don't want to talk on his behalf, because I know things were likely very different. But the only darkness that we knew didn't come from a dark one. All that was and is lost, so I have no idea what any of this is now.
Do you think they're one and the same?
For your sake, I hope the fuck not. But I doubt it. The way things are done, and the way that she does things, doesn't quite add up with whatever this is. So no.
I'm sure that I can add no more. Nalfian knows far more than I of the ways of the deep Underdark. I can only tell you what I might have learnt in school, and there's not much to add any value, I don't think. Can I roll a history check?
Yeah, go ahead and make a history check. 16. Okay.
Can I pop in?
Yeah, you can make.
I was just talking out of pure confidence, as if I knew, but I realized maybe I don't.
Oh, you can make a history check.
Now strong suit. Wah!
Yep. Nope. Now that's a no-go for you. Quilt, though. There was never any talk about specifically the Dark One or any of the other names or monikers that has been assigned to them. But you do know that certain paths of the Underdark, from what you may have learned in school, they were considered unsafe to travel even for those native there, just because there was a sort of creeping darkness there that was consuming. You're not sure if that's related, but you do know that there are certain parts of the Underdark that are just unsafe to travel because of something that is out of the control of the entities that act there.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. So he will kind of look across at Nalv, because he was kind of not wanting to tread on Nalfian's toes a bit, because obviously he assumes he'll know more, and then he'll kind of frown a little bit, fiddle with his glasses, and go, well, there was one thing that came up, friend Din, and thinking of it, there was some of my ancestors, we moved up higher in the Underdark, and down there, way down below, there are some parts which are no longer able to be inhabited by such folks as us, and even such folks as friend Alfian, because there is a darkness that has swallowed them. And it's beyond the control even of such powerful entities as them and us. So, I don't know, that may have something to do with it.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you. And maybe I'll be able to find something more in Lady Lapierre's library to sort of fill in the gaps.
I've never been there, but I'm quite excited to find out myself, I must admit. But
yes, me as well.
If you might excuse me for a little while, I am feeling the need for a little rest.
Yes. Yeah.
I might just curl up on this very comfortable settee here. Give me a nudge if anyone needs me.
Not a problem. I'll be sure to be extra quiet. However, I can't promise for that big man over there, though.
Din, you got a minute?
Yeah, of course. Here, or any kind of points just away?
He'll kind of like gesture with his head, so that way Quilp isn't just being spoken over as he's like curled up.
Oh,
Quilp
yeah.
just pulls his hat down over his eyes and curls up. You can hear a gentle snoring stop pretty quickly.
Okay, I'll just talk right here. Like I said, Nalfi during this entire thing was just kind of silent spectator, just kind of half-ass participating, just to kind of distract himself. Did pique his interest when you start talking about that stuff, though, but you can tell that he just kind of tried to brush it aside as much as possible. Din knows now that it's not something he likes to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Now don't go all soft lad on me if I ask you this.
Okay.
Just speak plain.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Do you think people can change?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, and you can see him kind of, he's putting a few things together and making, you can see him making some assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
But he continues to talk, and he says, I don't think it matters change which way, but when I was growing up, I was a lot like Grok. And I know that sounds hard to believe, but I was loud, I was boisterous, I would drink a lot, I would yell, and I would fight. And, well, then everything happened, you know. And I gave up. After I went back and my own father called the guards on me, claimed that I wasn't a nobody, and I stowed away and got to Raven Rock. I gave up. I hated life. I hated everything. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to drink and sit in a sewer. That's what I did for a while. About 4 years. That's all I did. I stole and I drank. And then one day I stole from Bishop Redemny. And instead of throwing me in jail like others had done, he gave me more. And said if I ever needed a place to stay, that I could come find him. And I did. And I was content with that for a while, just being the archivist, person in charge of the books. And then I met all of you. And I changed again. I realized that I wasn't just okay with being the archivist. I needed to do something more. And then Twig confronted me about my mom. And I realized is that I couldn't just be Din the adventurer. I had to be. And I have to be Brandon Bartold. I can't escape it. I need to be the person that my mom needs and that my people need. And I was only able to do that because of you all. So, I know I went a little soft-led there, but I felt like it was necessary. And he gives you a smile.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Don't sound too grateful.
Shit. No, I am. There's just a lot to think about. A lot of things were said yesterday. Haven't decided how to process them yet.
And he kind of exhales and kind of looks down at the floor and then looks back up at you and says, you know, it's really not my place, Nalfian, but here I go. I'm sure that when you were in the Underdark, you were a vastly different person.
All right, Din, I'm gonna go check on Grok.
Nope.
Thank you for this.
Nope, I need to say this one thing, and then you can leave. I'm a lord now, all right? Or at least I will be. So you gotta listen to me, all right? I got important things to say.
Nalf will just fold his arms over his chest and listen.
I'm sure you did a lot of bad things. But what you just did yesterday, what we all just did yesterday, we saved these people. That person, whoever that person was, wouldn't have done that. You're a good person, Nalfian. Whether you believe it or not.
Thanks, Din.
Yeah. Now you can storm off. That's okay now.
I won't storm, but I will walk briskly. How's that?
That is all right with me. I approve.
All right.
Okay.
And he'll just pat Din on the shoulder, and he's gonna go up and check on Grok.
Yeah. So at this point, Grok, just to update you, Geldovan was staying in the same room as you and Nalfian, And as Nalthian went down to check on everybody, I'm presuming that you probably stayed up there just to make sure that Geldovan was safe and that nothing happened to her. In this moment, was there anything you wanted to talk to Geldovan about? Or were you just kind of sit in silence? Grok?
No, I don't know. It'd be more like just general chit chat. I think Grok would be avoiding the situation that like she's kind of acknowledged that she's going to be hunted down. I think knowing Grok, he'd be more like general chit chat rather than just like, oh, so when are you due to die?
Yeah, okay, gotcha. So, she does talk to you a little bit as you just sort of are talking generally about this and that. Her people do come up, the sort of hobgoblins that she was traveling with. And she just says, very briefly, I don't know what people, what your tribes were like growing up. But, I didn't have I didn't grow up in a war tribe. Raiders, My people, they were musicians. And artists, painters. Of course, we had a different way of doing everything, but some days I wish that I could go back to that,
Well, that's just why you're different, isn't it? It's just a different way of life to me. It's no worse. It's just when I grew up, if I wanted to eat or do anything, I had to fight for it. Just because you had to do whatever you did doesn't mean we're any different. We're just the same. And that's why you can chance, regardless of what anyone else says. You deserve it.
Thank you, Grok. And at about that point, Nalthian enters the room.
Morning. Grok, you doing all right?
I'm sound. Just keep an eye on Geldovan. You don't know what's lurking about, or even who you're traveling with. Grok will kind of spit on the ground as he says that.
I think that at some point today we all need to have a more gentle conversation about where we go from here. But for now, no one worry about it. No one's doing anything. Galdavan, you're safe for now, at least from us.
And at about that point, there's a small
Bolt
knock
flies
on
through the window.
No, there's a knock on the door, and slowly opening it is Eurydice.
Dolphin will just open the door.
Okay.
But before he lets her in, he's just gonna kind of lock eyes with her. What's going on? If she's talking, I cannot hear her.
Uh-oh.
I see her I see their circle lighten up.
No. Wait, maybe.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Eurydice replied. She just said, "I have something I need to talk to you free about."
Just talking, right? Calmly would be preferably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Calmly.
All right. And he'll like step aside, opening the door to let you in. Eurydice's here to talk calmly.
Okay, she looks like... You know when you have an argument with your parents and you tell them you don't love them, and like you walk away, and then you come back later? Kind of what she looks like. Okay,
Did Discord die again, or are you taking a pause? Okay, Discord died. All right. I was like, it's one heck of a dramatic pause you got there. Wait, or am I the one who's broken?
No, you're here.
Okay, all right. I was like,
No, it's her.
I know that was kind of really the worst spot.
okay.
Okay.
Because she's probably not realizing that it's broken, and she's just still talking.
Wait, this is me or Lisa?
Lisa.
This is Lisa, yeah.
Sorry, I'm so drunk.
Oh, it's okay. The best part is there's no NPCs here aside from Geldovan, and she's just
He's
listening.
just watching.
I have nothing I can do
calm
to stall in this moment. How does Twig wake up?
I mean, kind of sad that no one else is around, I guess.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I mean, everyone's in the room, so, like, in the other room, so, like, Twig probably doesn't realize, you know, gets herself up, is probably like, oh, okay, Eurydice's, like, gone down for breakfast, obviously. Goes down to, like, you know, the main room of the tavern, no one's there.
No, Din is there, and Quilp is asleep sitting across from Din.
Wait, I thought Tim was
What?
up in the thing as well.
I hate my
Okay,
internet
no.
so much.
Yeah, she
Okay.
probably just
Hello.
joins them, though.
Okay, all right.
Okay, where did we get to with
You
my
said-
little speech?
You said okay.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Okay, again. Right. She said, okay. Eldovan, you're going to be safe. Okay, I'm just gonna lead with that because I don't know what else I'm gonna lead with. Pulled some strings. I talked to someone. The person who gave me these. I was talked to him and promised.
You have become a robot.
Mhm.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry, love.
This is so sad. What if I move her away and then move her back? Lisa? Oh. No!
I mean, I will say, like, if we need a stall, like, Twig was wanting to ask Din to just check in with Aunt Beth, just make sure that, like, you know, she's aware that they're still all good,
Okay.
using them worrying about letters.
Yeah. Here, let's... Lisa? No? Oh! Hey, there you are!
I'm gonna fucking kill someone.
Alright, let's try...
Not
I don't
Not
realize
Geldovan.
it cut out.
Yeah,
Go fast. No, everyone else. Shush,
Go,
shush, shush. Go
go,
fast.
go, go, go.
I'm
Go.
closing VTT. I'm closing VTT now. Okay.
Okay.
Did you just hear me say okay again? Is that literally what you heard?
I think you tried to say I pulled some strings, but then it went robot. So
Yeah.
just start from the top.
Okay. Okay. She said okay. I don't know what to say. I don't know what else to say, but I pulled some strings. I talked to some people. Give me these powers, and you're going to be fine. You're going to be safe. You just need to leave the south entrance towards Tarkia. People are going to meet you. You're going to be okay. House Malcolm won't be able to get to you. You're going to be safe. And I just need you to know that I'm really sorry about everything yesterday. Can't even say it was a different person because it wasn't. It was me, but it was shitty and it was horrible, and I was just scared. And I'm really sorry, but you're going to be fine. You're not going to die, and I don't want you to die. And I'm really sorry.
You can see her just kind of look at you, just confused. You did that for me.
Yeah, of course I did that for you. You don't deserve to die.
And you can see her kind of just, that look of confusion kind of begins to break and crack away into this like laughter. But it's not like a maniacal or like crazy laughter. It's just like a disbelief as she just, this smile flashes across her face. I'm going to live. And you're positive they won't be able to find me?
Well, the person I pulled strings with, and this should probably come out at some point. I kind of told you, Grok. It was Asmodeus, so I'm fairly certain you're going to be fine. I mean, if anyone in the universe is going to be able to guarantee that, it's kind of him.
You can see the smile like slowly just drain from her face.
No, it's fine. He helps me, kind of. Anyway, it's fine. It's sorry. She like puts her hands, like her face in her hands, like she just doesn't know how to word anything. He's just, he's a bit of not a great person, but I made a deal with him. He kind of owed me that, so I used it on keeping you safe. So you're going to be fine. Promise.
She'll kind of look to you, Grok, and try and read what your reaction is off this.
Rock will kind of. Oh, do you know what? No, before he does, he'll kind of. Can Rock insight on Yuri and just tell if she's like genuine?
Okay, yeah, make an
Oh,
insight
God.
check, yeah.
One sec. Sorry, D&D Beyond's being fucky.
No, it's okay. I will say, for being drunk, Jamie, you are rather coherent, which I...
That's because I'm a functional alcoholic.
It really makes me believe that you live by like the Archer motto, where you just always are drunk, because you sound no different.
That's a 16.
16? Okay. Eurydice, what does he get? Does he believe that she's being genuine?
It's totally genuine. She's a little muddled about Asmodeus and obviously like how to word if he's a good or a bad person. But the main things you're getting is that she feels awful for yesterday. Absolutely terrible. And she really, really did make a deal to keep Geldervin safe. And she does just want Geldervin to be safe, and she doesn't think Geldervin deserves to die.
Grok will nod when Yuri says all this and be like, right, she may have made some, well, shite choices. But at least she's above board, and she knows any fucky business, then she'll answer to me. But nah, she's sound.
All right. I mean, if you really believe, then she'll kind of look to you with these big hopeful eyes, Eurydice. I am very thankful, but and I don't mean to make it seem like I'm not, but why?
was. But I will admit, yesterday I was very much set on that you deserved to die because it made sense. But then everything wasn't as black and white as it was for everyone else. You started. I started saying things that I wasn't expecting. I made deals, did bad things, and partly the reason I did them was because I was told I could have my parents back. Like how you did things because you were told you could have your family back, and I guess I didn't.
And she just kind of nods and stands up and slowly walks over towards you, and she'll just kind of give you a hug.
Very surprised.
Yeah.
But she doesn't reject it.
And she'll just say, "I'm sorry," in this very hushed, gravelly tone next to you. And then pull back from the hug. "So am I to leave today?"
I already know what the time limit is. He didn't give one. You could probably stay till the festival. I mean, apparently he's here for it. Or...
I don't know. I think that I should... I should leave. Today. I just... The longer that I'm here, the more likely it is that they'll send agents, and I just... Not just for my safety, but for yours as well. I just... Do you two mind if I speak to Grok alone for just a brief moment?
No, I don't mind.
Yeah, Grok will kind of nod at them both.
Yep, I'll step out.
So at that point, do you two join the rest of them downstairs then?
Yeah, and Alfin will be going downstairs.
Okay, all right. So before we get to you two joining, we'll do the twig and den thing. But for right now, up in this room, Geldovan kind of walks over to you, Grok, and sits on the bed across from yours and just kind of looks at you. And she says, "Do you remember just a few days ago when I told you not to come to Highland Pass?"
Yeah, just you and me in the forest, and you warned me, saying shit's gonna go bad here. And obviously, well, I didn't listen, did I?
No, you didn't, and after the fact, I can say that I'm glad you didn't. I don't know if I could have lived with myself if this would have gone through. But I do want you to listen to me now. That mark you have, I could sense it on you. On your forearm, right?
Grok will kind of hold up his left arm and show the carving.
Okay. And you can see that Geldovan kind of loosens some of the string around her, the bottom half of her pant leg, and she slowly begins to like roll it up, showing the missing lower half of her leg, and then rolls it up past more, up about halfway up her thigh, and you can see that there's a very similar, intricate carving there. Looks to be some type of bird, almost large, but you can see these sort of wisps of flame coming off of it. I think Grok would be able to put two and two together that this is some type of phoenix. And she kind of rolls it back down. I don't know who did that to you. But
I mean, is it bad to say I did it?
I honestly don't know. It can't be any worse, but I don't think it's any better. This means, same as I told you before, that our souls are spoken for. If I die, I don't just drop to the ground, a corpse. My soul is given to something, and my body is used as a vessel for a creature. Should death find me, I lose who I am, and I become some entity of destruction. And Grok, I'm afraid if the same happens to you, your soul goes to whoever owns it, and your body's used for whatever purpose they deem it's necessary. I didn't want to say anything in front of the others because I know how much they care about you. But I just want you to know that you need to be careful.
I thank you. But I already owe a debt. Regardless of what happens, I've still got, well, a lifetime to pay. So, don't you worry about me.
There is something else. Something that I was going to do myself, but now life is changing a little. A lot, really. There's a place, I think, I've heard of, in Tarkir, the Scorched Valley. It's said that within the Scorched Valley there is a small palace of brass. And there is an entity within that palace that, should you find it and give it a worthy gift, it will grant you one wish. I was going to use it to break me free of this bond and to be free.
I mean, you keep saying you still owe to someone, and this bond as well. But who do you owe it to? Who is it?
All of us who serve the architect. I have no idea who they are or where they are or anything like that. I promise you I was being honest in that moment. But I think the architect serves a much darker master. And I think that all of us who serve the architect, whether we know it or not, are serving the same entity that the Dawi served many thousands of years ago.
Well, I'm not fucking having it. They can try and come for me. I'll try and come for you, but the moment I fucking hear about it, there's hell to pay. I won't go down easily. And I'll make sure you won't either.
She gives you a look and just says, while I'm away, I'll do whatever I can. I'll try and find something that can help. And anything I find, I'll make sure to send to you and the others. You've given me a second chance, and I'm not going to throw that away.
Just you don't need to think about the rest of us or anyone else. Just make sure you're okay or you're safe. Just think of yourself. Yeah?
I will. I promise I will. But I would almost feel like this second chance is wasted if I don't do any good with it.
Just give me the word and I'll see what I can do. Yeah?
All right. I will.
And Grok will kind of like turn both forearms where he's like carved into them and be like, and he'll just say, after he kind of shows both the, I guess at this point they'd be like almost healed scars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
And be like, so, how fucked am I?
Honestly, as long as you don't die, you should be fine. But if you do, I can only imagine what entity owns you. And now that you've given him this mark, should you fall, I wouldn't worry about your own self at that point. I'd worry more about who you die around.
Right. I'll handle it. Don't worry.
All right. Well, I suppose then I should get going then.
No. Take your time. Go whenever it's right for you.
She nods, and you can see her just sort of breathe a little bit. And she says, if I could just have a moment alone, real quick, I'd appreciate it.
Of course you can.
Okay. So, with that, you take a moment. You head out of the room, head downstairs, join the rest of your friends sitting around the table. You can see Quilp, his small form, hat over his eyes, asleep. Everyone else wide awake, sort of talking quietly. And
Din and Twig?
Dan and Twig, yes. So before the other three of you get there, well, it's just Quilp, Din, and Twig. You can see Din, he greets you, Twig, as you join the table, and he says, well, look who decided to sleep in a little bit this morning.
Twig's just been kind of like looking at Quilp.
Is he okay?
Oh, he's fine. He just, I don't think he got very much sleep last night. He was very tired when he came in. But it's fine. He seems to be pretty heavy sleeper. You see, Din kind of, maybe 4 or 5 inches away from his face, kind of snap. Does Quilp react to that at all? Or is he out cold right now?
Oh, just wakes him up just from that. What a dick move.
No, he might just kind of shift and turn and pull his leather hat down further over his eyes. You hear a little kind of mutter, but that's about it.
Okay.
Just not going to wake up.
Yeah. He's fine. I just fear for him when Grok shows up. Then we might have an issue.
Well, I was just, as we wait for the others, I guess I feel like it's probably a good idea to check in with Aunt Beth.
I think you're right.
I mean, I promised before I left that I would, keep in contact with her, so I feel like you have the easiest way to do that.
You're right, I do. Well, what do you want to say?
Well, I feel like it's probably best to just keep it at we're okay. I don't want to worry her with anything that's been going on.
All right.
And, well, I imagine you have a few words you want with her yourself.
I do. Let me see. Oh, I didn't bring my sword down. Let me see. And he kind of flips through his small journal, and he has a few little runes written down in the back of his book. I think one of them are here. Ah, there we go. Well, hopefully this will work all right. And you can see him just slowly begin to start to channel the magic and kind of stop and then be like, oh, don't forget. I'm sure you want to hear what she has to say as well. And he gestures his hand out for you to hold it.
She will take it.
Okay. Kind of grabs it and squeezes it a little bit. And he's like, all right, and if you want the magic to work extra well, you have to squeeze extra hard, all right?
She will also do that.
All right. There we go. Okay. Starts writing, and you can see the runes on the page begin to glow and bright, this very, very dull green color, and then fade as Den says, "Hi, Mom. Twig and I are safe. We are helping people. And we miss you so much." We will be back before the fortnight concludes. 25. And as the spell finishes, there's a brief moment and a response where you can hear Aunt Beth's words. I'm so happy that you are safe, and I hope and I am so excited for you two and any of your other friends to come back. I maybe should have... And at that point, the spell ends. And he says, I hope I'm not making promises that I can't keep, but after the festival, it's only a short distance. I figured that we could go back together and, well, maybe with you by my side and with everyone else, maybe we can finally get some answers.
Well, I mean, to get there by the fortnight seems a bit quick. I mean, I was still hoping that we could go to Trevise.
Well, the nice part is with this business with the cult seemingly at least concluded for the short time, we should have plenty of time for that. And should things change and we need more time, I'm sure she'll understand. I just wanted to let her know that we plan on coming home.
Well, it's not like I want to delay it at Oh, I mean, especially if you're ready to go home.
No, I think I'm ready to see some more things, but I am excited to go home for the first time in a long, long, long time.
What about Lord Barthold? I don't want him to still be, well, will still accuse you of, I guess, trying to cause harm or anything.
Well, if he does, luckily I have got some of the best bodyguards in the world. Everything will be fine, Twig. Should worse comes to worse, I'm not going to give up so easily this time. I need answers. I've waited too long without answers, and this time I'm going to get them.
Well, I mean, what do you plan to do once you've got those answers?
Well, what used to happen in the older days of House Barthold is the Bartholds were known as travelers, adventurers. That's how Dad meant Mom. When he was younger, still a juvenile lord, he left. He went out to see the world. And in the meantime, his mother stayed and was lord for that time, at least was in charge, working with the captain of the guard and the head of the temple, and managed things while he was gone. Then he came back with Mom and became lord. So I think really what it is whatever happens, happens. And then if for some reason I go there as Brandon Barthold and I leave as Lord Barthold, well, it's Barthold tradition to adventure and see the world and then return.
Twig's eyes have kind of been widening. It's only really just kind of dawned on her that, oh wait, yeah, he's actually going to be a lord, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but if you're becoming a lord, doesn't that mean you should stay? You don't need to get that title quite yet, right? Because you can still be with us, right?
There's a lot of new precedents being set right now, so I think that the lady, Barthold, I'm sure that we could work something out with her. Because if I'm being entirely honest, Twig, I don't want to be done yet. There's still so much more to see and so much more to do. Oh, well, and look who it is. And at about that point, Eurydice and Nalfian make their way down the stairs. And shortly after, Grok follows. And with that, the four of you, plus Den, just kind of sitting there, making very, very quiet chit-chat as Quilp is just tucked away.
Reason away.
Yep. What's up?
Nothing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. As Quilp is just tucked in his little chair, leather hat over his head, taking a nap. Rock eventually comes down, and you just have a peaceful day of joking and chit-chatting, eating. The Harvest Inn Festival still quite some time away. You have today just to relax. And should you choose, help people, do whatever you choose to do on this day. However, before all of you leave the tavern to go your separate ways or do whatever you do, Grok, you head back up to the room to check on Geldovan after several hours of eating and drinking and talking, and there's no Geldovan. Just a letter.
Bollocks.
And Grok can read common, right?
Yeah, just about.
Okay, all right.
He needs his glasses, but yeah.
Yeah, gets his readers on, you know? Okay.
Yeah.
So reading it, it's very short. And it just says, to whoever finds this, thank you for believing in me and giving me a second chance. I don't want to endanger any of you any more than I already have. Thank you. And I hope we see each other soon. And with that, Grok, as you sort of take the letter, looking out the window, seeing if you can see her anywhere, going downstairs, looking at the door, looking near the cook's exit, back towards the stables. She's nowhere to be seen. Gone. And with that, as you continue on through this day, in the next few days, we're going to go ahead and skip a few days. We'll briefly talk about what you're doing over those 3 or 4 days, but then when we come back from the break, we're going to be in some festival times. So yeah, we're going to have some fun times. So I will say, if there was any like research or any studying or anything you wanted to do related to like that, if we could kind of have that take place over the 3 months of downtime after the festival, just that way we can finish the festival this session and then start with the downtime next session. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I was just about to ask.
Yep, that's what I was just about to say. Lady Lapierre's busy anyway, and the library that you would need would be in her private study. So, probably wouldn't be able to get there just yet because she's, not really a good way to get in there, get a hold of her. Okay, so with that, we're going to go on break. Be back in 5-ish minutes to have some fun festival times. Thank you so much for watching. By the way, Onion Soup, great to see you again. Love to have you here. All right, with that, let's go on break, and we'll be back.
Give him another thumbs up and wink.
People often think that's hard to do, but it's easier every time.
Acting is the easiest job on the planet. Nothing to it.
Oh, she's
Alright.
so goofy.
Well, I don't want to waste any time. I'm gonna go and sit by the river. I just think best out there.
Referencing all of the sitcoms right now, but his hands kind of just start touching his face, and he's like, "I could make him a flying teapot.
A what?
You can
I could try."
Okay, Desmond.
try.
You will try.
Just, I think I would need some stuff.
Okay, so plan is walk back in.
Or just to life in general.
Thought toast was a bread word.
Oh, it is. You see, some words have multiple meanings.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah.
Can you come with us?
Can he please? Oh my god.
Way of putting that? All right, well, Cecily will hold up.
Listen.
It's not. Well,
That's fucking well easy, Harry. I'll fucking help you kill him. I'm not.
It's just one thing that I need to do. But I'm worried because supposedly this woman, Bianca, I think her name was, she serves.
See if he wants to look at it too.
No, I'm not busy. I was just kind of just doing some stretches. I wasn't doing anything. I don't know. I don't know what. Okay, yeah, what's up?
Okay.
Yeah. What's up? What do you need? Sorry, I just don't.
You're making me laugh and I can't roleplay. Okay.
Sorry. What pitch is my voice normally at, Bianca, please?
Wow, these colors are pretty magical. Do you have colors like this, Mr. Giftman? And like, wave the kaleidoscope near the gift.
He's compelled to answer all questions.
He is compelled to answer all questions. So he would go, I am white. I am Marxus.
I'm brown.
I am yellow.
Give me a second. I'm just gonna.
I am black, aka Captain Darrow. The real hero of the Salamander campaign.
Oh my god.
Fuck Captain Darrow, man.
I am
Child murderer.
He killed those bandits. I say good for him. He performed a public service. Darrow did nothing wrong.
All right. So for the summary today, Kit do Quilp's summary, and then I'll do the real summary. I just want to hear what Quilp thinks happened last session.
Okay, cool. Absolutely, not a problem.
All right, let's hear it.
Oh, we're ready. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, right. Do beyond.
No, I didn't actually.
And you said a 12?
Yeah.
Roll a 4.
Plus D4.
Roll a 4 and you'll win. Oh! Oh, so close. Oh, God.
Sorry.
Oh, wait.
Did you do that? How?
You see, when I first joined the Children of the Flame, they attached these rocks to my legs, and I just kept jumping until I got very good at it.
Bianca wants to insight check that.
No, Morwen breaks before you do that.
Okay.
Did I have you there for a second?
Well, I was concerned first, and then I was like, bullshit.
Communication sound. I'm looking at you.
What? Sleeping dragon.
Call it T-bot. It's like a teapot.
That is an in-character and in-person laugh.
I gotta vote for Goblin King because we have 2 imposters, and if they get a double kill, we lose. So he seems closest with no alibi.
The planky goes.
If we lose, I apologize.
Oh, you're all dumb. Now they need a single kill.
Well, that was just hurtful.
Well, we got to vote off Ryan now because.
Oh,
fuck! Oh fuck!
Oi, Goblin King! Oh, I saw him fly out from the crow.
Negotiable thing. So, for the time being, Izzy will be role played by me, and then we'll see some stuff happen today. But I just wanted to be fully upfront about that, so that way nobody was like, "Wait, what's going on?" Okay, so that is that. I know, Onion. So that's that. But I think other than that, we can go ahead and roll that intro and then get started. Okay. And where the
No,
it's okay.
No,
I
think
deserve
you're
it.
great.
I'm a mess. I've had 2 years to write this paper.
2 years?
2 years.
Oh, Jinx.
Sayla's losing her shit. She's just fucking laughing in the corner, just so you know.
Does anybody else hear that fucking annoying sound?
What, your fucking voice?
Very funny. You slay me. But the buzzing. Just every
What
now
do you
and
mean
then.
buzzing? Of course it's fucking buzzing. We're in a forest, fuck's sake.
It's different. It feels like it's fucking everywhere.
Are we selling hash for fucking bombs?
Are we the buddies?
Her little personal pouch is gonna be full. You bet your ass, but she will still.
I am never going to be able to go back to my family in Ireland, am I?
Probably not.
I'm just not getting in the country anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
I listen to stuff. You just gotta. Please. Joe, please. Joe, please.
Mark, where are you going? This is the most intense boss fight in the game. Beetle armor it is.
I'd say maybe that's on the bottom end of the priorities, if excuse the pun.
I hear Joe dying in the next room.
Oh, yes. Bottom end. Very well. I'll keep an eye out. Anything else?
Into each other. As I said, I have a feeling we'll be there presently. Perhaps let's go right for now. And by that, I mean
right.
left.
Wait.
Is left to the sarcophagi?
East. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Ishima's right, but our left.
Yeah.
Alright, we're gonna... Y'all...
My head. Okay.
Wait, just say east.
Alright, we're gonna go stage right.
West!
We're going west.
Alright.
Ah, damn it!
Okay.
Right? Is that... Wait, oh shit, do I have it wrong?
That's, yeah, east is, if you're looking at it, like, on the...
Yeah, let me
So you gotta put it on. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Let me go ahead and undeafen myself. Hey, we're back. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Roll with Advantage. We're back for the Isles of Iverion, so let's just go ahead and dive right in. Last we left off, picking up right where we did leave off, the group had finally made their way back into Highland Pass. They had a few conversations within the group itself, talking back and forth with Geldivan and the other party members, and a couple of decisions were made. Geldivan is going to go free, and she's going to be kept safe by Asmodeus. Woo, what a fun sentence. I love D&D. As a favor to Eurydice. That taken care of there. Now, also, Twig and Den messaged Lady Bartold, Aunt Beth, or Mom to Den, informing her that they would be home eventually, and Den said that he's going to want to confront his dad and not live in fear of that moment anymore and try and embrace who he knows that he needs to be. So there's that. And then also, there was a brief moment with Quilp and Din where Din was very inquisitive to Quilp about the nature of the message that he received and trying to understand the purpose of it or if there was anything more to it. And it seems though the conclusion that was reached there was maybe sometime during that downtime heading in to Isinalor again to investigate that Dowie ruin, to try and find that corruption within the flame and go from there. But that will be something that we'll have to see later. As now, there is no more time to dilly-dally as all of you spend those 3 days just kind of relaxing, doing what you want. Maybe you help Quilp in checking on his neighborhood and where he lived, making sure everything's good there, or doing whatever you want. That is up to you where you've been the past 3 days. Because, oh, by the way, Yuri, go ahead and mark off 10 gold. Just for the thing you told me about.
Who are you talking to?
Yuri, you.
Oh, right, okay, sorry. That cut out. Cool.
I was like, all right, you have 10 gold? Okay, good. So, you get that. You did a little thing. You ready? So, all of you then wake up on the 17th of Hearthfire, bright and early in the morning, about 6, 7 a.m., and immediately there is this just explosion of noise from outside. Not a literal explosion, mind you, but this explosive music coming from outside. As you can just hear that now around probably every corner, there is just joyous music playing. There is a life to the city that you can hear from where you're at right now. Just even within inside the stone walls of the Wise Lantern, it's just crazy. Given how quiet the city had been the past few days, and now this explosion of noise, it seems as though the city is finally starting to sort of come around and make a small turn on the positive. So, with that, as all of you are beginning to wake up, Nalfian and Grok, in your room, Nalfian being the first person to wake up of the two, you can see that by your door, seemingly there was something that was slid underneath it. There is a small, thin wooden box that's there as you kind of are the first person to wake up before Grok does. You can see it right there.
Okay. He's gonna just kind of stretch and yawn, a little annoyed that he was woken up so early. But he'll go check out this box.
Okay. Yeah. So, you go to check out the box, and you can see that it is. You can hear the cards inside of it. It's a box full of cards, and as you slide the top off, you recognize Kingdoms and Castles cards as you'd seen them before. The top card right there is that of King Wyatt Omen, the previous king of Tarkir, a hero through and through. You can, just from what you remember, this is a deck entirely based off of chivalry and honor. And you kind of look at that, and then you can see underneath there's a small note. And that note says, let me send it to you. It's a handwritten note. And where are you at on Discord? There you are. It says this. And that there's Elvish at the bottom that says that.
Man. He's like trying really hard not to grin, but he can't help it. And he just kind of laughs to himself a little bit. He's gonna tuck the note on him somewhere, kind of like in his back pocket. Mm-hmm. And he'll just kind of, in the morning, take a little bit of time to kind of like shuffle through the cards, just kind of see like which one is which. But it definitely has affected him in a very positive way. Like I said, he's trying not to smile, but like he hasn't had a grin on his face as big in a while, so.
Okay, very cool. So, as you checking out the cards, like I said, you can see that it is a chivalry-based nation where all of it is based off of, honor and having different units who use honor to fight with. The more that you have there, the stronger your army is. Very military-based, but like I said, it's a lot of honor there. So, you read through the deck. You very well know who it's from. And with that, all of you begin to wake up and stir. And do you guys meet downstairs before you head off into the festivities in the city?
Yeah.
Okay. And then actually, would Quilp make his way back to the inn to meet up with the party before the festival?
Yeah, I reckon.
Okay. Okay.
He would. Yes, he would. He didn't actually really have a home, so he would have just been sleeping on the settle in the tavern quite happily.
Okay.
So we'll just be there in the morning.
Okay, yeah. So you kind of stir with everyone else, waking up, moving in, and all of you sort of gathering around, just beginning to talk and chit-chat, and you can see that Vala, the halfling woman, she comes over towards all of you, and she says, "So, ready for the festivities today? Do you have any idea what you're going to be doing?"
Nalthian is like, he's weirdly in a good mood now. He just laughs and he just kind of says, "Well, what is there to expect?"
Oh, a whole bunch of stuff, actually. Really just depends kind of what you're interested in. So, in mid-afternoon, there will be a drinking contest that actually happens right here at this tavern. It's a...
Eyes grok.
It's a special brew of me own, a very special spiced cider. It's a little bit different than other drinking games because not only do you have to stomach the alcohol, but you also have to be able to handle the spice. So, there's that. Then also, for some of the little ones, kind of gesturing towards Twig, not Quilp. She understands that Quilp is a small folk, not actually a child. Just Twig. And says, for the little ones, they have geode breaking, where pay a silver piece. You can pick a large rock out from a cluster, and then you get to have the fun of smashing the geode, breaking it open, and seeing what fun, colorful rocks lie within. There's also another game happening all throughout the day called Trebuchet, where you stand backwards and you pretty much try and throw a small bag into a basket. Also, there'll be an archery contest mid-morning. And then after that, there are a few other sights to see along the way. Different musicians performing, artists drawing portraits all along the street corners. However, just be prepared. At sunset today, there will be a feast. Pretty much as is tradition in Highland Pass. From one gate to the other, there'll be a bunch of tables and chairs set up down the main thoroughfare. And all of the people who wish to have a free meal, which is most people in the city, they'll be able to eat for free for that day, celebrating the end of the harvest. And then after that, there is a fireworks display. Right once the sun has completely set, and there's a beautiful dark sky.
Well, there's plenty to choose from. Twig, what do you think?
Oh, there is one more thing. Almost forgot about. It's new this year, actually. There was a wizard fellow, a dwarvish man, who tried to think of a way to... Well, Highland Pass is honestly most beautiful when you can see it from above, but sadly there's no really safe ledges or cliff sides to stand on. So, pretty much, on one of the cliff faces, he has these magical, small metal cages that have seats inside of them, and they pretty much spin around in a circle. And then they'll stop every so often at different increments, so that way you can sort of look out and see the city from above. Now, if you happen to be in there during the fireworks, I think you're probably going to get the best view. She's describing a Ferris wheel, if you didn't get that. If you didn't...
I think you're about that, like, weeks ago.
if you're a little dense there, she...
Damn.
It's a Ferris wheel. So, the mage, his name is Ferris.
Really getting creative with these names, huh?
Don't you fucking come for Merchant, all right? All right?
I didn't say anything. You fucking came up with that on your own. I said nothing.
Okay. But I think with the Ferris thing, I think when we looked this up, like the actual guy that did invent the Ferris wheel was called Ferris.
Exactly. If I can have fucking William Shakespeare in my world, I'm gonna have the guy who invented the Ferris wheel too. Except this time he's a dwarf wizard.
Name.
No. Because then it's not a Ferris wheel, then it's a Crucknack wheel, and that sounds gross. Right? Enough.
I like Crucknack.
All right, it's a Crucknack wheel now. All right, his name's Crucknack. He's
ugly,
a
but
dwarf,
alright.
and he's missing an eye, and he only has 7 fingers. Every time you look at his fingers, he's missing a different set of 3. All right, there you go. You're never gonna meet him, so it doesn't matter.
I hate this. Give us
Well, I think that interesting thing sounds really so interesting, and I'd love to find the person that invented it and see if I could just congratulate him because
Oh,
I've
he's-
always dreamed of being able to fly.
He's dead.
And that sounds. Oh, how
He died
sad.
seconds ago.
Oh,
Truly a tragedy.
no. Well, then we better go on his magical special machine, better we?
Yep. Okay. All right. Bye. Vala leaves. She exits off stage right. Okay. So with that, you have a collection of things to do today. There's the drinking contest, the geode breaking trebuchet, and the archery contest. Those are kind of your 4 big things during the day. And then also, if you'd like to get a caricature done, you could do that as well.
Oh my god, so cute.
Yep. Okay. So with that, what are we doing? What's happening?
I'm very excited about the geo breaking. I don't know if anyone else but that sounds like a fascinating thing to go and do. Break rocks and see what's inside.
I love that. Nalfian is like, I'll do the drinking games. Twig, Yuri, Grog, what are you thinking?
I'll do the drinking game.
That's my boy. Twig, you want to break some rocks open?
Wait, sorry, I don't know if I'm just not remembering. Did she go into like what the whole trebuchet thing was?
It's like throwing a sack over your head, right?
Yep. Yeah, you take like a small beanbag and you throw it backwards over your head and try and get
It's not
into
like something involving an actual trebuchet. Okay, well that changes my opinion.
No.
Can you imagine?
In this moment, the
Like mini
human is the
trebuchets.
trebuchet. Yeah. Because you know how a trebuchet kind of like, yeah.
Like things real far, real hard. Yeah.
I was hopeful for like actual like miniature trebuchets, but you know, my day is immeasurably ruined.
Was there an archery contest as well that she
Yeah.
mentioned?
There's an
I mean-
archery one. Twig, would you like to do that?
You're very good with your bow thing.
Well, crossbow's a little different, but I wouldn't mind.
I'll go do it with you, and then you'll be immeasurably better than me, at least, and it'll be fun.
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret right now. There's only one spot in the archery contest left. The rest of you are going to be playing the different contestants. You have to make up an NPC.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
All right.
god.
And you determine if they're good at archery or bad at archery. All right, and they're competing
Perfect.
against Twig. Okay.
Aww.
Okay.
All right. So start thinking about who your archer is.
Awesome.
Okay. All right.
Well,
so
should we
got-
just have a little wander around the streets and see if we can find the... I'm quite fascinated to see what a trebuchet might be. I'm not quite sure. And maybe see if the archery competition's got some spaces.
I think that's a good idea. Let's just go see what we can find.
Because I believe the spiced cider drinking competition was this afternoon. And that's not for a while yet. So there's plenty of time to get back for that.
Okay. All right. So, all in agreement, you head out into the city streets, and you can see that there is a small snow kind of starting to fall, but you can see that it's not dousing any of the spirits of the people who live here at all. They're just kind of moseying on about their way and just having a good time. So, making your way through the snowy streets of Highland Pass, you can see the different people talking and chit-chatting on the road. You can also see the different musicians playing their music in different areas, and it's kind of funny because what you end up seeing is like anywhere you go, there's generally the same song being played, as it seems as though all of the musicians around town are kind of taking cue from one another, like when a song finishes, what song to go into next. So it's just kind of the same music that's following you around town wherever you go. Isn't that funny? So there is that. And every once in a while, maybe every 3 or 4 blocks that you're kind of walking around, you can see different small games. Things like, there's a large cart that has a whole bunch of glass bottles in it, and there are people trying to throw rings on the bottles. You can also see what looks to be some older human man who has 3 sort of mobile boxes that has a crank at the end of it that he's sort of cranking up and down, and you can see every once in a while these small, what look to be almost like gophers or some type of burrowing animal pop out, as there are these kids with these rubber mallets that are trying to smack the little things that are popping out as he's kind of like keeping track of the score. And then also there are smaller games where there are these like baskets at an angle where there are people trying to throw balls in the baskets, trying to get small prizes. So those ones are all very inexpensive to play and do. They're only about like 5 copper a piece just to participate in.
I'm going in. Nelf's going in.
Okay, which one? Are you doing the ring toss, whack-a-mole, or...
In my experience recently, actually, with trying to do a real-life ring toss, that game's rigged. So... Joe and I went to an amusement park like 2 days ago. Let's do the whack-a-mole. I feel like Nelf is good at deck
Yeah,
stuff.
I think Quilp's up for whack-a-mole as well, so I excitedly follow behind Nalthian and kind of looking at him. This looks fascinating. Let's have a look at this one.
All right. Yes, come on up. Welcome to Whack-a-Gopher. Sure. So the goal of the game is to... Oh, wait, we have 3 boxes here where you'll all be competing. Do we have a third volunteer? A third contestant?
Oh, come on, one of you. We want to do this. This looks right fun.
Oh, fuck it. Go on, then.
And you can see, Grok, as you approach, the old man just kind of his eyes go wide. All right. Okay, all right, so that'll be 1 copper piece a person. Thank you. And 1, 2, 3. All right, so mark off 1 copper piece. He says, okay, so...
I don't actually have any coin, but could I just join in? I'm probably won't manage to hit anything.
Grockle bought 2 coin pieces now.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Very nice of you. So, pretty much the goal of the game is you want to hit more gophers than the other person. They're going to pop their little heads out. You got the little mallet. You're going to smack them. And ideally, looking at you, Grok, you're going to try not to break the machine. So, then whoever hits the most moles in the least amount of time will get a prize. And you see he kind of takes out a small stuffed little gopher that seems to be no bigger than his palm. There you go. Simple as that.
That's it?
Well, and you
don't have anything bigger than that?
You reflect for a moment, and you see that the only people who played this game as you were approaching were children.
Alright, accurate. This still stands. Nalfian still stands. He's like, okay. Shake me down for her. Alright.
All right, so... amazing. So you, the crank begins to happen, and you can hear that there maybe is some type of music box inside that's like on some type of very like fast, jaunty music, very similar to this, that is like bling, ding, 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 as eventually there are these small gophers that begin to pop out of the holes. So I would like Nalfian, Quilp, and Grok to either make a strength or dexterity check.
Oh, cool.
That will be a strength.
Grok is gonna nat 20 and destroy the box.
Bash. I love it. Quilp has got whatever hammer it is in both hands, jumping up and down and swinging it wildly.
What?
Seems to be done quite well.
You said Grok got an 8?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So Grok, you are just like, they're moving so fast where you like smack down on it and the gopher already went back down. And you smack again and the gopher already went back down. And now you're just hitting it. And you're not hitting the gophers at all. You're just smacking into the wood with this like rubber mallet, just angry. And Nalvian, you can see that like, as you're like quickly like smacking down on them, just very dexterity, just one after the other, Quilp is actually keeping up with you. And right now, you guys are tied. Grok, you're a little behind, but there's still a chance. There's one more phase of this, as you can see that now the pace is picked up. Things are starting to pop up even faster, retract even faster. Go ahead and make one more strength or dexterity check, and this will determine who wins it. Grok, if you get a natural 20, you win. You got it. Ooh.
Sorry. This is the thing.
I got a nat 1. oh, Quilp. So in the order of the machine, there's Nalfian, Quilp, and Grok. Now, Grok, as you're like smacking down on it, eventually you just stop trying to hit them, and at this point you're just hitting the machine like stupid machine, and you end up hitting it and you end up punching it, and there's this like brief reverberation inside where you can feel some type of cog or piece of metal just snap and break. And Quilp, you're hitting him, and you would have maybe won, but the gopher stopped popping up. The machine's broken. And Nalfian, yours is still working, though, and you're able to hit the rest of them and win the prize. And you can see that eventually he stops cranking and looks over and tries to crank again and see that Quilp and Grox don't pop up.
Quilp will go, oh, don't worry, mister. He'll just reach up and he'll pat Grok and say, it's easy now, just leave it alone. And I'm going to cast Mending and see if I can fix it.
Oh, yeah, okay. So reaching your hand in one of the holes, you find the two pieces that are kind of broken, snapped in half. You grab onto it, cast Mending, and it fixes itself. And he cranks it a few more times and sees the gopher start to pop up, and he says,
Good as new.
Hi, good as new.
For the entertainment.
He looks over his shoulder at Twig and then like back at this guy and this like little ass gopher. You got anything better than this? Like maybe I don't know. What did people like? Owl bears maybe? Is that a thing?
Well, you mean stuffed owlbears, or do you mean real ones?
Oh, stuffed ones.
Stuffed
owlbears.
Unless... Is that better than gophers? I suppose so.
Not in my opinion, it's not, but no, I got gophers, all right? That's the gimmick.
They could put little hats on them.
It's called Whack-A-Gopher. I give out gophers.
I'm gonna flick Nalfian behind the ear with telekinesis. It's like this is not the hill to die on. This is not it.
All right, I'll take.
Listen, if you want a stuffed owlbear, go do the ring toss.
I will take the gopher, and I will also go to the ring toss. Thank you. You've been too kind.
Good tip. Thank you, sir.
Nalfian will begrudgingly take the fucking gopher.
Okay.
He's gonna like take it and kind of like squat down by a twig, and he's gonna say, "All right, look. So it's gone a little differently than I imagined, but hold on to this, and we'll see if we can do better. All right? It's for you."
Thank you.
You're welcome. But
That's cute.
isn't that a little small?
Well, I mean, I'm a little small.
All right, fair enough. Well, you hold on to it. I'm gonna try this still. And Nalfian is determined.
Okay.
Give me the fucking ring toss.
Also gonna do the ring toss, just for fun.
Alrighty. So as you are beginning to make your way over, you can see that just curving around, there is a larger area. There's a couple smaller ring tosses where they're giving out smaller stuffed animals. None of them are giving out owlbears. You round a corner and you can see this maybe 20 by 20 pavilion where there's a sort of bench around it, or this like bar almost around it, with a few people sort of attending it, walking back and forth, picking up small metal rings. And you can see that hanging from the top, there are 4 giant stuffed owlbears.
Nalfian's going in.
Okay.
Determination on his face. Dead set.
All right. So
got this. Fine.
You make your
I'm
way.
going to cast guidance on Nalfian when he's about to do what he's going to do.
Amazing. Okay, you cast guidance on Nalfian, and as you approach, you can see one of the individuals, a water genasi woman. You can see that her hair is like almost like at this point like tufts of ice that are just kind of crystalline, moving with her shakes of her head, and she says, "Step up, one all. Step up, everyone. Please come try the ring toss. Should you be able to toss the small metal rings on the bottles, on your any try at all, one of these giant stuffed owlbears will be yours." You can see there's currently about 50 people around it, just kind of throwing their rings on it, each one of them clink, 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 falling on down to the ground.
Yeah, Nalfian will wave his attention over. He's gold in hand already.
Okay. The water genasi woman approaches, and she says, so we have another contestant. Please tell me, how many times would you like to attempt? It's fairly simple. 1 copper is for 10 throws. 1 Silver is...
Here, just have this and give me as many as you can, and he'll just hand her like 10 gold pieces.
Buy the fucking hellback.
It's not the point of buying it, he has to win it.
All right, get this man 100 rings.
Alright, nope, he's going until he wins it.
Okay.
If he gets too far and he hasn't got it yet, Yuri's gonna telekinesis. So we just
Okay, I'd like you to roll just keep rolling dexterity checks until you get a natural 20.
You can do it. You can do it. I told you, you can do it.
A nat 20?
Yep. Because this game is fucking impossible.
Yeah, you're right. You're actually right. Joe and I spent too much money on this.
I'm helping him.
I just want to know. I want to know how many rings he has to throw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
See, like the sweat of his
7,
brow.
8.
Joe, we're gonna here all night.
9.
I've got so many 19s.
10. 11.
I accidentally hit the guy with the ring. The chick with her. Oh, wait. There's one. Right? No?
Nope.
Oh, okay. The screen just made the dice move.
Hey! Alrighty. So we'll go ahead and say that around the 18th or 19th try, as you're just flicking them, you were starting to get so frustrated, about as frustrated as you were getting when we were actually playing it at King's Island, where you're just like, oh, fucking piece of shit. God fucking damn it. Fuck. And then eventually, after about like 13th, 14th try, Eurydice, without saying anything in this current moment, you'll wait to use it until maybe later. But not in this current moment. You just sort of give a little flick of your head, and you can see one that was very close readjust itself and cling, 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 cling. Land on the ring, and
yes,
the Genasi woman, she says, oh, well, look at that, our first winner of the day. And you can see the other, like, 20 people around it. They all just look at you in disgust. Like, oh, how
he's
dare you.
blowing kisses. He's blowing kisses and waving.
And so
all right, I'll take that one right there. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, pulls off the owlbear off of one of the metal hooks and hands it to you. And Nalfian, it's about as big as Twig.
Oh, perfect. All right, so he'll take that over, and he's like breathing. Like this was hard for him. He's like, oh, all right, I know. It's not as cute, but like, look how big this one is. All right, this one is also for you.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just fuck that game is hard. But what do you think?
I mean, thank you. You didn't have to worry so much about it.
Nah, it was fun.
You didn't look like you were having fun.
Trust me, I was. You like it though, right?
Yes.
All right, then it was worth it. I'm having fun. What's next? Twig, you play something.
Rue's gonna whisper to Din. He would have got there eventually, but it was starting to get sad. I really couldn't keep watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
An absolute madman.
Yeah, that would have been rough. I couldn't imagine if it would have taken him until his 50th try. I don't think it would have ended well for the people around here.
No. Okay. I'd have to get that over with.
All right. So
Malfi's just gonna kind of like walk in between Din and Eurydice and just like put his arms around both of them. What are we talking about? All right, let's move on.
What? Oh, okay.
Like, that was really great display of dexterity.
Damn right it was. Next game.
Alrighty. Cool. So, like I said, there are several other games in here. All of them are generally the same, where they're a little scammy. You know, they're definitely meant for you to throw a lot of money into them. But as you're beginning to make your way around, there is seeming to be an open artist right now who says, excuse me, and you can see a human man. Very pale skin, long black hair about down to his shoulders, sort of parted off to one side, wearing very fine clothing. Says, excuse me, would you like me to draw your group?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Great. Would you like just the faces, the whole bodies? I can do color, or I can just do black and white.
Go all out.
All out,
You'll
all right.
Give him however much money he wants.
All right.
Leslie spending here.
Okay, so for all 6 of you, plus he does it for all 6 of you. Would you like the stuffed owlbear in it as well?
Yes, it's very important.
All right, then it'll be 10 gold.
She'll give him 10 gold.
Okay, all right. Throws it into a small container next to him, and he starts to draw. And you guys are maybe there for about an hour at this point. Around 11 o'clock. Until eventually, he sort of does a few final touches, and he says, all right, well, I guess that will be good enough. All right, well, I hope you like it. And as he kind of flips it around and shows it to all of you, it is a caricature. So it kind of takes all of the parts of your face and your weapons and armor and just kind of blows them up out of proportion. So, like, Quilp, like, your eyes and glasses take up, like, 3/4 of your face. And then, you know, Grok, you are just, like, you just have this, like, mean, like, wide face that just has this, like, terrible, like, grin on it. And your eyes are really squinting, and you can see that there's, like, bits of seaweed in your hair. And there's a large carrot sticking out of the beard. And then, Twig, you can see that your face is 90% hair. Just, like, almost all covering it, aside from one little sliver of eye that's poking out that's, like, squinting. Eurydice, yours is the most normal, but you can see that your face is so much more round as opposed to the more angular way that it's shaped now. And you look so much like more like cartoonishly motherly, you know, where you look like every Disney mom ever. And then Nalfian, it's just like 90% of your face is just your teeth, just smiling. And then for Din, he drew Din's like lower half the same as what he's wearing right now, that like burgundy like woolen coat. But then because Din is dressed like a noble, like Din's nose is so much longer, like very falcon-like, just kind of like pointing up to the sky, like better than everybody. And Din kind of looks at that and he's like, I don't look like that, do I?
You don't. Oh, it's just a drawing.
Okay. And the guy's like, well, if you'd like, I could have this delivered to wherever you're staying or to your home later, or I can give it to you right now. It's up to you.
Well, I think we can hold on to it.
All right, here you go. And he kind of takes it off the canvas, wraps it, puts like a wax covering over it, and then puts it in a small, what looks to be maybe like wooden crate, very simply made. Here you go.
Well, I'll take it. I'll take care of it.
Okay. Alrighty. So, with that, it is just about time for the archery contest.
Way ahead of you.
All right. So, as all of you are making your way towards the archery contest, you can see this, like, grizzled, half-orc, a woman, the captain of the guard, as she, like, her scars across her face, she says, all right, listen here, you worthless louts. Our archery contest is starting soon, and we have one open spot left. One open spot. All of the rest of the spots have been filled. Who's brave enough to step up? Our prize is 5 siege breaker arrows or bolts.
Oof.
So yeah, these are bolts or arrows that do no damage to creatures, but they deal 5d10 damage to structures, and they are an automatic crit whenever they hit. So they automatically double the damage.
We'll nervously just kind of step up a little.
All right, the entry price is 5 gold. Oh, well, I recognize you, Twig, right?
Yes.
Well, the entry price, Twig, is 5 gold pieces.
She actually has 5 gold, so she can actually give that.
Thank you very much. Sets it in there. And with that, all of the positions in the archery contest have been filled. by 5 other individuals. So with that, they start going down the line, introducing themselves. First up is this dwarvish man with one hand crossbow that has this massive scope on it. And he says, "The name is Rutherford. I am the greatest hunter of the Highland Pass area. I will win this contest and use these bolts to do something with. I must prove my worth." So Rutherford, the dwarvish hunter, is first up. Next up is Twig, standing in the second spot. Twig, introduce yourself to the crowd.
I'm Twig.
Speak up!
Twig.
Dolph will start cheering really loudly for her.
Yeah.
Like, yeah!
Supporting.
Woo!
Nobody else claps.
Well, they all suck.
I'm grabbing a hookwood. Just like I hate it now.
Okay, alrighty. Kayla, who's your contestant in the archery contest?
This little dragonborn girl kind of steps forward and she says, "Hi, I'm Teacup, and I just want to make my mom proud. Yay!"
What ranged weapon is Teacup using?
She just has like a very simple, like she made it out of like a twig she found in the forest and a shoestring.
Okay, alrighty. So we have Rutherford, Twig, Teacup. Lisa, who's your contestant?
Right. This really decrepit dude steps up, right? And you think he's probably blind in one eye. He's holding, like, the fucking oldest looking javelin. Like, it's probably a snap down the middle or something.
That's what
and
he's
he's like,
using.
stepped it up. And he just steps up. He's fucking blind in one eye, and he's got like a fucking crutch. He's like, Greg.
I'm deceased.
Fucking cough. It's like,
That's so sad. Sorry, I'm just crying.
there you go, deceased old man.
It's just coughing. He doesn't even say his name. Oh my god, old man. All right, Jamie, are you back?
I'm back.
All right, who's your contestant in the archery contest?
He walks up and he is as pompous and pretentious as can be, and he goes, "I am Rabbit Hoodinson, and prepared to be made a fool of."
Okay, all right. And then, last but not least, Kit, what's your contestant?
There's a couple of kind of like drunk blokes on the side, and they're kind of shoving each other, and eventually they shove one of them forwards, and you go, "Oh, I'm not fucking good at this." Oh, no. Right, I'll give it a go. Do I need a bow? Can I just throw it? Or do I have to... And he kind of steps forward, you know, looking back all the time and wobbling a bit as he goes, going, "Don't be a laugh anyway, won't it?" And he kind of steps out to the front. He doesn't appear to have any kind of bow with him.
And you can see the captain of the guard is just kind of like, "I suppose you can throw the arrows if you'd like."
Like darts.
Exactly.
Oh,
man.
God. Okay.
What have we created?
Alrighty. So we have Rutherford, Teacup, Twig, Old Diseased Man, Robert, and Drunk Man. All right. Truly a stacked cast here. All right. So with that, I would like each one of you on the first round here, just go ahead and make a dexterity check on the first round.
I'm giving my guy a fucking -4.
Do you want us to like use our modifiers or like just straight roll like a d20?
It's up to you. You can roll a d20 and then add whatever you think would be appropriate for that character.
Okay.
Got a 6.
Let's see what everyone else rolls before I do.
My character got a 24.
24? Okay.
He's good. Yeah, Bertram got a 3.
Okay. All right. Teacup 13. Twig 15. All right. Okay, and then Rutherford got a 17. Okay. So, let me see here. If you got a 13 or higher, you currently have 25 points, so it's going to be up to you to keep track of these. Okay. If you got below a 13, that's 0 points.
Oh, good. I keep track of that.
Yeah. If you got if you got a 16 or higher, then that's 50 points, and if you got a 20 or higher, that is 100 points in the bullseye.
Oh my.
Jump, jump, jump.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alrighty.
Come on, Twig, you can do it.
That's my cousin. Okay. All right. So then, second round, you can see that there are different increments set up. So with that, you're asked to take 2 steps back. So the targets are a little bit harder to hit now. So I'd like each one of you to make a dexterity check again.
Oh man.
That's a 1.
You got that one.
It's not natural because he's got like a -4, but it's a 1.
Right. What do I get this time? Oh, worse. I got a 5 on the dice.
He just keeps picking up arrows and throwing them.
That's a 2.
They're just kind of like hitting near his feet. He's not going any arch
Just
to.
about finds an arrow, goes, oh god, it's not gonna get it. And it just slips, kind of flies end over end backwards out of his hand.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. So, oh yeah, Teacup. Sadly, that's a miss. What about for Diseased Old Man?
It's a 1.
Oh yeah. Diseased Old Man, javelin snaps and breaks. Rutherford, that is a 6, so that's a miss as well. What about Robert?
That's a dirty 20.
Oh.
Yes, Twig's got to go up against this like super pristine guy. I love.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, so with an 18 and a dirty 20, that is actually an 8. So that'll be 50 points for both of you.
What, Twig's still like 75 points behind.
She's gotta hit it hard. Okay, so then there's going to be a second shot from this distance, and then there's going to be one final shot after this, where the points are doubled. Okay? So, with that, from this distance, go ahead and make a dexterity. At this point, Rutherford, the diseased man, and the drunk guy are disqualified. There's no way
Can
for
I
them.
throw the 2 halves of my spear? Can I just fucking chuck them forward?
As drunk guy heads back, could he kind of like kind of bump into the guy who's very fancy, Jamie's guy?
I don't need this pittiness from Twig. Let's go with straight. Get out of here.
I was just thinking he might throw up in his shoes or something. So,
Get out of here.
excuse me, mate. And his friends are just going, "Oh, you fucking idiot! Come back over here!" And he's got staggers on by.
Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah, Robert, you just have vomit on your very fine, like suede shoes.
This fucking place. I should be back here. You people fucking disgust me.
All right.
Peasants.
Teacup still in it? Did she get kicked?
Teacup is what did she roll? Oh, 7.
Oh,
Yeah,
7.
no. Yeah.
All right. I'll do better next year, Mom.
and you're like bronze dragonborn, or no, you. That's right, because you don't have a mom who's like traditionally.
What?
You just have like you have some
That's how
halfling.
dragonborn work.
Yeah, you
My
have a
bad.
halfling lady who adopted you and is just kind of raising you because she just showed up on her doorstep one day. It's like, oh, that's okay, Teacup, sweetie, just come back home and we'll go play some ring toss. All right, don't worry about it. Come on.
Hey.
Okay.
She skips away.
Alrighty. So with that, it comes down to Twig and Robert. So, one more shot from this distance. I'd like both of you to make a dexterity check. Robert, the smell is a little distracting. That's going to be -1 to your rolls, okay?
We need this pity roll.
It's not pity roll. He's got vomit on his shoes, man.
That is a 12 total.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay, Twig, you just need to do better than
Oh.
Alrighty, so you
Twig's
can
little
see.
hand is like starting to shake because she doesn't like people watching her.
So you can see both of the Raymond fires his arrow. Twig, you fire your bolt. Both of them miss, and you can hear the crowd go ooh. And the captain, she kind of looks back and forth. Redo of this round. Redo of this round. No targets were hit. Redo of this round. All right, make another shot.
Pep talk, Twig.
Can you pep?
You got this. Amazing.
Oh, 12 total.
Twig.
Hey, fuck.
Okay, 18. All right, so that means that is another 50 points for you, Twig. No points for Raymond.
Robert.
25 points
Robert,
behind.
Okay, all right, so that means the final round, it really matters. So going into the final round, the smell has now gone away for the most part. Robert, as you've been moved to a different lane. And with that, you need to step back again, where you are incredibly far away from these targets now. So, with that, very hard to hit. I'd like both of you, as you go up to aim, to make one final dexterity check.
As Robert takes a shot, Grok is going to stamp on the seats and yell, "Wanker!"
All right, make your dexterity check with disadvantage. Oh!
That is an 8 total for Robert.
Okay, all right. Both of you once again fire and miss the targets completely. The audience, again!
Like for the drama.
And the captain just looks at you both. Why don't next time you hit something again? All right, make a shot. A shot.
Come on, Twig.
Come on, Twig. Oh!
That's a 14 total.
14 total? Still doesn't hit.
What's the DC for
What did
this?
Twig get? How's your VCT? So what'd she get?
Well,
7.
yeah, being back so far, the AC just keeps going up and up, even for just hitting the target in general. So right now the bolts are just kind of flying and hitting near it, and normally this wouldn't be an issue for you, Twig, but there's just an audience around, people staring at you. It's just a different environment. It's just, ugh. All right, so with that, you can see the captain, she says, well, I didn't realize that we had amateurs here. Take a step forward and take one final shot. All right. You both take your 2 steps forward, back to the original, not to the original line, but the one that you were just at for the final shot of the game. One more dexterity check.
Gemma, do you have inspiration because it's your birthday?
Oh, yes, you would.
You do.
That's right. I forgot to say that at the beginning of the session.
I mean, do I have to, like, I can use my inspo after I've rolled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
I get the rules for inspiration.
Yeah, you can choose to use it after you roll.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Do you want to bless as well while we're at it?
Would you like to tell me what? Okay.
What did Robert get?
30-20.
Oh no.
Twig's lost.
So taking one more step forward. Let's see. Twig, what'd you roll? A 14. So you do hit the target in the ring for 25 points. But with a dirty 20, Robert is able to get an additional 50 points. Slamming in, firing, not the bullseye, but on the second ring, slamming it in. The bolt lands. And with that, the captain says, and we have our winner! Congratulations to Robert. So Robert...
You suck!
Boo!
Ew.
Robert will collect
corpse
his
clapping.
arrows and just kind of mutter, "Fucking peasants."
Oh, you did very well, didn't he? Very good. Oh, good try, Twig. Don't worry. Next time.
I imagine like Twig tries to do that the whole thing of that whole good sportsmanship of just like trying to like do a kind of good game to him, but I imagine Robert's just too much pretentious to deal with that.
Yeah,
so
he kind of would have
try and go for it, and then just like awkwardly like look up, like she had her hand out,
Twig
awkwardly
kind of
puts it down.
If Twig offered to like shake Robert's hand, he would have kind of scoffed him and like, no.
He goes past the
like,
sick,
puts her
I
hand
trip
out
him into the sick.
and just
Like, I take his feet out from under him and trip him into the sick.
back and just get herself to Alfian.
Yeah, Nalfa's gonna go give her a hug.
So yeah, you can see that there is a brief moment where Twig, after he walks past you, there's a brief moment where you hear him kind of trip up a little bit and like kind of fall face first onto the ground. As how does Robert react when that happens?
He wouldn't pick up immediately. He kind of like be face down and say, "I fucking hate this place."
Oh my god.
All right.
So Nalfa just kind of pat Twig on the back and just be like, you know, the wind was blowing really bad today. Don't worry about it. You'll get him next time. Why don't we try something else?
This doesn't say anything, just like, hood down.
Quilp, let's find that rock smashing game. That sounds great.
It's also Trebuchet, if you'd like.
I don't think we need any more Dex games right now. We just need to smash some shit. Let her get her rage out.
Okay. Alrighty. So with that, all of you make your way towards the geode breaking game, which is closer to the mines, and you can see that there is a what looks to be some type of dwarvish man, long braided, bright fiery red-orange beard, shaven head. You can see he has different tattoos on his face. Pickaxe in his hand, wearing looks to be like a leather apron and like a thick wool overcoat, and says, "Hey, come get some geodes, break them open, keep what you find inside. Wait, 1 silver apiece, pick a geode, break it open, keep what you find inside. Come get a geode, 1 silver apiece, keep what you find inside."
No, he's saying.
So they all got silence spell.
Nalfa's just winging because he doesn't know what the hell this guy's saying, so he's just gonna like, just pull up and kind of like nudge for Twig to jump in.
Hey, hi there, welcome little one. Jack, a geode, a break open, keep what you find inside.
Wait, sounds like a lot of fun. I think you can break the rock open and you can keep what you find inside. So it's like a lucky dip kind of thing, which sounds very exciting.
Yep, that's it, right there.
Right, I believe it's 1 silver piece.
1 silver apiece, keep what you find inside.
Wait, this is Dwarvish Man, right?
Yep.
Stop looking at Dwarvish, just be like, what are you doing?
So you speak to him in Dwarvish? And he responds in Dwarvish, and his Dwarvish is so clean, so immaculate. And he says, "Oh, it's simply the rules of the game." This is translated. This is what it sounds like in Dwarvish. "Simply the rules of the game. You pay 1 silver piece. I give you 1 geode, and you get to break it open, and you keep what you find inside. Does that make sense, little one?"
Oh man.
Makes sense.
Just responding in Dwarvish.
Amazing. And then he goes back to shouting in common, "Geode breaking, 1 silver apiece, keep what you find inside. I know, no. Hey, come on, come out, get some geode, break them open, small pickaxe.
Joe, please shut the fuck up, because I can't handle it.
What do you mean? Keep what you find inside."
Okay, everyone's there, Joe. We're all getting geodes.
All right. So, for each one of you buying a geode, go ahead and mark off 1 silver piece. Den will also get one. Let me go ahead and manage his character sheet. Bop, 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 ran. Oh, wow. Jeez. Den's got some money. I didn't realize that. Oh.
Twig is over here with less than 10 gold to her name.
Yeah. Din has.
No, Yuri has enough, but I don't know how much he has.
Yeah, Din has 300 gold.
What the fuck?
Why isn't he sharing? What the hell?
Wait, no. No, he has 350 gold and 50 silver. Well, now 49 silver. I didn't realize. Oh, I forgot.
Quilp's going to be shifting from foot to foot and kind of looking at the geodes a little bit wistfully.
Din's gonna take out another silver piece and say, a second one for me, please. And he'll hand it to you, Quilp.
Oh, thank you so much. That's terribly kind of you. Oh, how exciting. We get to break it and keep what we find inside.
One silver piece, keep what you find inside. As you're walking away, he continues to yell. Okay.
Why is he so loud?
Try living with it.
All right.
Trouble's running for the hills.
Ayla slides over towards papers.
Wow. All right. So with that, all of you get your little small geodes. You're given complimentary pickaxes to use to break it open, and I'd like each one of you to roll a D100.
Oh.
Need to roll those.
Joe, I sent you a message on Discord, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Okay. Alrighty. So we will go ahead and let me pull this up real quick. Okay. So let's go ahead and go down the line, starting with Twig. What'd you roll on your D100?
35.
Okay. 35 on a D100. You crack it open. You have to slam into it a couple times, but eventually cracks do begin to form. Following along the cracks, it cracks open, and you can see that your geode is a combination of different deep blues and teals. It is a agate geode egg, which I'll go ahead and copy image address. And I don't think that this will work in Foundry, but let me see. So you can click on that. That is what your geode looks like, Twig. Crack it open. It's only about the size of your palm. It's very small, but very pretty. So now, 12. No, that's rough, buddy. So you've got to hit your rock, and you see that it's different from everybody else as you're hitting it. It's not like splitting open, kind of like how some geodes will like split like a coconut, you know? But as you're cracking into it, you're just digging away at rock till you realize...
You got a fucking dud.
You got a rock. That's not a geode.
All right.
Okay. Oh, Quilp with a... Oh, sorry. What were you going to say, Nalthian?
Nothing. Just the disappointment on his face is immeasurable.
Okay. Now, Quilp with a 78, you actually end up doing the same, cracking yours open, and you can see that yours has this white rim around the side, and the deep inside of it is this deep, deep, deep purple and amethyst geode. So this one is actually pretty valuable to the right geo salesman.
Cool. Love a bit of amethyst. He's very excited. He shows it very excitedly to Nalthian, who's walking next to.
That's great. That's great. Mine was dirt.
Oh. Would you like half of mine? Because now I've broken it in half, you could have this half of mine. It's terribly beautiful. It's beautiful purple colour.
Oh, it's all right. I appreciate it, but keep your rock.
And you'll keep yours. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about Grok and Yuri?
I rolled a 44.
44? Okay. With a 44, you would actually... So, as you cracked yours open, you're not... It's pretty, but not in, the kind of way that you were hoping. As you crack it open, it's a little bit more hollow than the rest of them. And you can see that there's, right around the edges, there is some trace of white, but most of it is just this kind of like foggy brown stone, a quartz geode.
Cool.
So it's
She's
pretty,
happy with that.
just not as colorful.
Nice.
Okay. And then, Grok, what's yours, D100?
67.
67. Ah, okay. Hey, cool, look at that. Almost one of each. So, Grok, with yours, as you crack yours open, yours is by far the most brightly colored. As you crack it open and look in, it almost looks like a sunburst, where it starts in the middle of this deep orange, and as it moves out, it becomes this bright, almost glowing yellow in the sunlight.
Grok wouldn't really think about it. I think he just handed it to Twig. And be like, there you go.
You don't want it?
Nah, it's alright. Cheers.
Okay.
Alrighty. So,
Is there a picture of Nalfians?
Oh, I did. I already sent mine.
Is there a picture of Nalfians?
Yep. Nope, it's already in there. Don't worry. Got you.
Love it.
Nice. Rocks.
Christ Marie, the minerals.
Okay. Amazing. So, crack it open. All of you take in your minerals. Some of you take in your rocks. And you make some laughs. And, well, you make some jokes, have some laughs. There we go. That's how humans speak. And you continue on your way. So, at about this point, it would be about time for the drinking contest at the Wise Lantern Inn.
Yeah, Nalth is eyeing Grok with, like, super big shit-eating grin on his face. He's hype. And we're gonna go back for it.
Yeah. Grok's down.
Alrighty. So with that, the rest of the group, you all kind of travel together to get to the drinking contest, and just as you get there, you can see almost all the tables have filled up. There's about spot for 3 more people, so Grok and Nalfian, obviously, so if one of the others of you would like to join, you can.
I feel like I could take one drink and then Yuri would be like... He's gonna, like, tapped in. Do you wanna go?
Oh no, I shouldn't.
You shouldn't, or you should?
I should. Yeah.
You should. Go on, pat him on the back. You got this.
And he'll join Grok and Nalfi, and it's 3 of you sit down at a table. As at this point, Vaula, the halfling woman who owns the place, begins to go over the rules. All right, very simple rules. You drink 1 mug at a time. You finish the mug, you slam it down, we fill it up again. For every mug you drink, you'll get 1 gold piece. However, if you regurgitate on my floor, not only do you get nothing that you earned, but also you got to clean it up. All right? And so with that, you can see these men holding out these small pouches. They begin to go around collecting coin from people. 2 gold coins per entry. Throwing the gold in. And as it comes around, Din is like, I think I can handle this. And he'll hand in the 6 gold for all 3 of you.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah. Well, now that I know that he has that much gold, he's definitely not a hoarder, you know? Like, he's good to shed a little bit. All right. So he drops the 6 gold in, and with that, the mugs are set down, and here's the difficult part. As she said earlier, this is a spiced cider. So, and it's a spicy cider, so just kind of smelling it, you can kind of feel that feeling in your throat. So the alcohol isn't the problem here, it's getting past that. So with that, she gives off 3, 2, 1, go! And with that, you begin to drink. So I would easily say that the 3 of you are able to get down the first mug Easy peasy, no problem. Just slam it back, slam it down. 1's no problem. However, you do start to feel that burning feeling in your throat. And you can tell that the rest of these are going to be very difficult. So, second ones are set down on your table, and you go and drink. I'd like Nalfian, Grok, and Din to all make Constitution saving throws.
They're only for Din.
Oh, I was just going to throw it in there. Oh!
Ooh, Din.
Yeah.
Ya boy.
That's my cousin.
Why do I have a D4 on there?
Oh, you might still be blessed.
Oh. Maybe needs to be blessed for this.
Quilp's blessings just last and last.
So that'll be 19 instead.
Okay, 19. Let me find Melfi in here. Bliss. And then Grok.
That's a dirty 20 for Grok.
Dirty 20 for Grok. Okay, look at you. Look at you go. All right, so all three of you, slam it back. Second one down, you've at least regained your profits. Good job. All right, third one is set down. Make another Constitution saving throw.
I don't know why I exited out of my character sheet.
Mm-hmm. Saves. Gone. Okay, 21.
Oh,
Din.
Thomas.
Oh, no. Oh, funny. All right, Grok.
He's doing so well.
Grok, what you at? Uh-oh. Grok died.
Fucking.
Oh, no, you're there.
Oh, there you go.
That's a 21 total.
21 total. Alrighty, very cool. All right, so with that, Nalvian and Grok, the two of you slam him back. You are good. But you can see that Din, as he goes to throw it back, he was maybe taking in a gasp of air as he was throwing it back. And just being too overzealous, overconfident, he drinks, and you can just hear him begin to cough.
Oh.
And he just can't drink it. He doesn't throw up, but the alcohol just kind of spilled on the floor. He says, "Oh, God, ow, ugh." So with that, somebody comes over, hands him his 2 gold for finishing 2, and both of you now move on to 3. Throw him back, drink him, easy peasy. Alrighty, so I'd like the 2 of you, as Din's just kind of sitting there, just staring with contempt on his face. I'd like the 2 of you to make 1 more Constitution saving throw apiece. Ooh.
Starting to feel it.
Yeah.
That's 14 total.
14 total. Okay. All right. So with that, as the 2 of you are drinking them, you can tell that it's starting to affect. You can feel their throats start to burn. It starts to like close and expand as you're just really starting to get really choked up. And I'd like each one of you to make another Constitution saving throw to see what happens in this current moment. If you can keep it down or if you're losing it all. Okay, 16.
I don't know if that's enough.
Oh, 23 total.
23 total. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So with that, both of you kind of make eye contact with each other as you're drinking. You can both see your chest begin to expand a little bit, but both of you muscle through it, getting through. Number 4, slamming it down. Your throat is on fire.
Whew.
You can cut your losses, or you can keep going.
Now we'll do 1 more.
All right, 1 more. All right, make a con save. What about Grok?
Grok's doing another one.
All right, not one to back away from a challenge. Oh, almost a natural 20. Okay, but a dirty 20. All right.
We are really, like, Grok and Elf are both really Constitution heavy boys.
Yeah.
Oh, 21 total.
21 total. Okay. So with that, you guys get through number 5, easy peasy. Slam it down. Make 2 more con saves.
I feel like there's like tears in both their eyes, but they're just like cheering, like clinking the drinks and just keep downing them.
Yeah, all of you looking, it is painful. What like you can see the tears. Uh-oh.
I think Knopf's done.
Yep. Grok, what'd you get?
Oh, 17 total.
17 total. All right. So with that, both of you, it's starting to get really painful. Both of you can feel that burning sensation come back again. I'd like both of you to make Constitution saving throws with disadvantage now.
Oh, fuck.
Yep. Yeah, it's hard.
Believe in you.
This last one's very hard.
Got it.
Oh, double 21s!
Wait, hold on. I gotta do the disadvantage thingy.
Okay.
I don't. It's not letting me do the plus or minus. I have to go back and reroll. Sorry.
That's okay. All right. Sadly, Nalfian, that is not a 17 is not enough in this situation where you throw it back and the spiced, not only just the alcohol, but the spiciness of the alcohol itself, it just begins to burn, and you have to break away from Grok because as you do, you just lean over the table and just hurl onto the ground. Grok, you throw it back, you can feel it bubble up, that sort of like acid reflex, but you swallow it, and you swallow the alcohol, you set it down on finishing number 6. Do you go for another?
Oh no, Grok will do one more.
One more, all right. Make a con save.
Disadvantage?
Disadvantage, yeah, because you've messed up twice now.
Oh, that's 18.
18? Okay, 18. You are just barely able to make it through that last one. On number 7 now, that'd be 7 gold. It's up to you. One more?
Oh my god, it's not worth it for this.
Is there anyone else still in this?
Yeah, there is one more person. You can see this dwarvish, like old dwarvish woman. She's ancient, maybe 200 years old. Wrinkly, leathery face. Like, she's kind of picking them up with 2 hands, and she's drinking slower, but you can see the same amount of empty cups on her table that she was sitting at by herself. And she sets it down, and she looks at you, and she says, "Bring it, you big fuck."
I'm fucking coming for you, bitch.
Then she spits on the ground, and she takes another one, and starts drinking.
Yeah, Soul Grok. Oh!
Oh, that was a 22, but then... okay. That's a dirty 20 on her part.
That's a 19 total.
Oh, okay. All right, 19 total. You drink it, she drinks hers, set them down, you finish them. And you can see that everybody else is just sort of staring back and forth. The dwarvish woman says, "You don't go down so easy, do ya? Well, another one!" Ah! She just yells and throws another one back.
It's frantic.
And Grok will say, "I fucking drank more than you are, so you fucking knobhead."
All right, make one more con save. This one she didn't do so good on.
Oh, thank God. 18 total.
18 total. Okay, well, she immediately, as she's drinking, she, begins to, kind of, cough, and with that, she does also turn over and vomit onto the ground. But, Grok, you can feel as you're drinking it, that burning sensation is coming back one more time, but you know you have to stomach it. Make one more con save.
Is this disadvantage or normal?
This one's disadvantage too, yeah, because this is the 3rd time it's coming up.
Ugh. This makes my stomach hurt.
Can I use saving phase?
Yes, you can! So you get 5. You get 5 added to it.
In that case, that is a 21 total.
21 total, that is just enough to prevent from throwing up. So you slam down your 9th tankard after wiping that frothy liquid off your beard, and you can feel your stomach on fire, your throat clogged, like you've been drinking eggnog or something, and it's just inflamed. But as you're exhaling damn near flames, you can see that the halfling woman in charge, Vala, she comes over, she sets down 10 gold on the table, and she says, "Congratulations! You big fucker, you're the winner."
Grok will roar like Wolverine at the end of Logan, and then collapse onto the table.
Okay, yeah, screaming and then falling down onto the table. Din kind of pokes you in the head. I don't think he's...
Nah, Grok's out cold.
Yeah, I think he's dead now, Fian.
It'd be fine. Just let him sleep it off. And Nalfian will use a napkin to tuck him in. Just place it on his back. See, he'll be fine.
All right. So you tuck him in, and with that, the tavern gets cleaned up. Luckily, Eurydice comes by and using prestidigitation to clean.
It's all too
things
gross. It's fucking gross.
Yeah.
Nope.
Terrible.
Awful.
But with that, you do have a little bit of free time now, as this was sort of in the mid-afternoon. So let me go ahead and advance time a little bit here. So right now, you're at about 5 o'clock. Well, not right then, but you would get to about 5 o'clock. Oh, yeah, okay. So, as all of you are kind of cleaning up and coming back to sobriety at least a little bit before the feast, you can see that in the sort of center of town, just now getting back out into the fresh air, that definitely sobering you up just a little bit. Also thanks to, for those of you that want it, you can pay like 1 gold as you're exiting to get a small little tonic that helps sober you up a little bit. It's very minty. Also prevents the bad breath. But you make your way through the streets, and you can see that as they're beginning to sort of set up the tables for the feast and starting to set down some of the food, you can see that in the center of town there does look to be a large square. And in that square, that seems to be where the largest band is. And you can see that there are people that are currently dancing. And it seems to be that entire square is meant for dancing. And it seems like there's maybe going to be 15, 20 minutes before the food is actually ready to be served, especially the hot food. So, to spare the time, if you'd like to do a little bit of dancing, you can do that, waiting for the food to be served.
Yeah, Nalfian will ask Eurydice if she wants to dance.
He very much does. Are you gonna go dancing?
During that, he's not going to say too much, but he is just going to say, thank you. But that's it.
Just smiles and says, welcome.
Okay. All right. So, 2 of you dance. Den comes over to you, Twig, and is like, excuse me, my lady Twig, would you mind if I have this dance?
Certainly accept, my lord.
Thank you.
So cute.
Doing like a little fake little curtsy thing towards me.
With that, he walks over with you, his arm outstretched, yours like over his, hand on your hand, walks out. And the 2 of you do this little, almost a ballroom dance, but it's very clear that both of your skills in dancing are not the best. As graceful as Din is in combat, his feet, not so much. But you have some fun. And as you're dancing, Din kind of looks out towards Quilp and Grok, and he says, there's room out here for 2 more if you'd like. I think the 2 of you would be wonderful dancing partners.
Grok just kind of waves his hand, and all you hear is like loud groaning.
Quilt will have gone and found wherever the musicians are and will be sitting as close as he can and kind of tapping his feet on the floor, kind of bouncing away, completely involved in the music. You wouldn't even notice him.
Okay, all right, sounds good. So with that, eventually the music does stop after maybe about 15 minutes of that. And you can begin to smell this aroma. Freshly cooked meat, baked bread, stews, spices, and seasoning just begin to fill the air all around you as food is served on the tables. Hot food, cold food, all of it looking delicious. The snow has stopped, and you can see that clerics are going around to these lanterns that are hanging above the tables on this long, long metal wire, and just casting light inside in different colors of red, blue, green, and orange, creating this just sort of like almost dancing lights effect as on that metal wire, the lanterns kind of set up 2 by 2, the metal wire begins to slowly move, going southward and then the other half coming back up northward to create this dancing lights that kind of follow along the tables, creating this just really beautiful effect. As you all sit down, food for free next to you, you all can just dig in at that point. And, I mean, there's really anything you want here. If you see something a few people down, you just have to ask for somebody to pass it, and they do. And you can see that this dinner, this festival, is really helping morale. As although the past couple days there's been this air of sadness, it seems as though a lot of the people are starting to come around and thinking that at least they're still here. Thankful that they can celebrate. And thankful that they still have this opportunity to be here. And there are some people who do recognize you, and as you're sitting next to them, they talk to you about, what exactly you did and how you helped, and thanking you so much for saving the people that you did and doing what you did. And there's just this feeling that some of you get in your stomach, where these people are incredibly thankful of you. And even Quilp, there's a few people that are sitting here that used to kind of treat you a little odd, where they would just kind of laugh at you when you weren't around. And even them, they're very thankful towards you, which you kind of cock your head at a little bit. But they thank you. And with that, dinner happens. And then you can see approaching the table towards the end of dinner, as the sun is just almost finished setting. She says, hello to all of you. I hope that you are enjoying the food.
Is this Lady Lapierre?
Yeah, this is Lady Lapierre. She approaches all of you. You can see she has a couple of guards next to you, and the people, they kind of like bow their heads a little bit as she approaches. I take it the food is good?
Yeah, it's great. Thanks for doing this.
No, thank you. In fact, there is typically a small speech that I give before the fireworks, and I was hoping that the group of you might be willing to be my honored guest on stage with me.
Is that everybody else?
Yeah, that's really nice of you. Thank you.
Well, as soon as you're finished eating, come towards the center of town, right underneath the mountain pass, and that is where I give the speech from. The guards will take you on stage with me, and thank you once again for your service.
Nuff will just nod.
Or smile.
Okay. Alrighty. So she heads off, and then a few more moments pass, and all of you feel as though you've eaten your fill. And unless there's anything else you want to say, it's you can head off in that direction.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So you head off that way. And making your way towards the center of town, you can see people have started to gather. Some of the tables closer to the center of town have been dismantled. The swirling lights are still going at this time. And you can see Lady Lapierre standing on that stage. And the guards clear a way for you to get up front with her. And
Quilp's not going up. He'll kind of just hang back as the rest of them are getting closer there, and just kind of drift off into the crowd. Let them keep on going ahead, if he manages to do that.
Is anybody gonna? Because all of you would catch Quilp, kind of stepping away from the group.
Yeah, I mean, if
Can
he's.
join us?
Oh no! It's thank you, Twig, but no. You go on up. You did wonderful things, and I'm going up. Yeah, I think I saw a friend of mine over there. I won't be long.
Oh, okay. Well, see you later then.
Oh yeah, see you in a moment. And just kind of duck away between a couple of people.
You can see Din kind of deflate a little bit. I feel like, he should come up there with us, right?
I mean, he did help though. It's kept us going.
Yeah. We can't force him, really.
No, I guess not.
Go on, Jen. We'll find him later.
All right. And with that, all of you make your way on stage, and you can see that with that, the crowd begins to inch closer, and Lady Lapierre begins to speak as all of you are standing up there with her. And she says, as is tradition, every year at the Havisen Festival, the Lord or Lady of House Lapierre addresses their people and informs them as to what they know is happening and what the plans are going into the winter, what threats may be at our doorsteps, and what we may need to watch out for. And it seems as though before this day could come, there was a great evil that was in our city without us even knowing. And I am ashamed to be standing here in front of all of you now and to say that this was not something that I knew about and something that I could not have stopped were it not for the people standing behind me right now. So, I would like to extend my greatest gratitudes to the 6, and she kind of looks behind her and counts and looks at the 5 of you a little confused. Well, there were 6 of them. To them for helping us in our time of need and making sure that all of us could wake up on this morning and enjoy our festivities and live another day in our beautiful country. Thank you all so much, and know that from me and from the nobility of Tarkir, we are thankful, and I personally am forever in your debt. She gives you a smile, and with that, the people standing all around, they do all begin to clap and cheer for the saviors of their city, as odd as that feels for a lot of you. And she smiles, and with that, she sort of gestures for all of you to exit out into the crowd. And as you do kind of step off of this elevated stage a little bit, there are people even more so now that are sort of coming up to you and thanking you and just, telling you how you impacted them and how you kind of, what you did saved them from, helped them rescue their dog that was kind of running away, or they had a child that was inside of a building that they were able to get to, or their grandparents were trapped. Just thing after thing after thing that because of what all of you did, they were able to save someone close to them, or they were able to just survive in general. And that is because of all of you. So, with that, as all of you are beginning to make your way, you do know that very shortly, maybe in an hour or so, the fireworks will be starting. So where did you all want to watch the fireworks from?
I think there's only one option, really.
Fireworks.
Where we can watch the fireworks from.
Grubnack's wheel.
Oh yeah, that one.
Kruknuks, yeah. All right. So with that, you make your way to the west side of the city to the Kruknuk wheel.
Kruknuk.
And you begin to get in line, and as soon as all of you get in line, it's a very short line, as most people are over by the festival. But you can see as you sort of get in line, there are people who like recognize you, and they're like, "Oh, please go ahead," and they just kind of let you go ahead and line in front of them. And you can see that each cart can only take 2 people.
Nalfian wants to talk to Twig, so he's gonna be insistent to sit next to her.
Okay. Den will kind of go, Grok? You and me? I mean, if you don't want to, I suppose that's fine as well.
Nah, it's cool. Yeah. I'll be honest, kid. The room's fucking spinning.
Well,
I'm sound.
Oh yeah, come on, take a seat. Let's let's head inside. And gets in the third one.
Let's go.
Yeah. Quilt would have caught up with you after you left the square.
Okay.
So he'll happily join in.
So, with that, all of you hop on to Crocknock's wheel. You can see.
It sounds so dirty.
Gonna fall apart at any moment.
Please.
He doesn't say anything to you, but you can see the old dwarvish man's 7 fingers standing next to a large lever.
I thought she said he died. I'm gonna have to have a long chat with him when we get off of here.
He just kind of looks to all of you, and he doesn't say anything. He just looks. He's blind in both eyes. He doesn't know that he's looking at you. He's looking in your general direction.
You preemptively cast fly on herself. just in case.
All right. And as soon as he hears the gate shut on each one of the small carriages,
It runs.
I'm gonna die.
you can hear him pull the lever, and there is this large whirring sound as it slowly begins to crank up and around. And with that, your 3 sort of cages begin to slowly just swing kind of passively as you begin to rise up and up and up until it stops at the very, very center top with Grok and Den at the very top of the Ferris wheel, with Twig and Nalfian off to the other side, and Eurydice and Quilp off to the other. And with that, Nalf, you said you wanted to talk to Twig?
I guess once it kind of comes to a stop, he would just shift so he could, I assume she has this big ass owlbear also in the cart with us. So so we can make eye contact. He would just say, did you have fun today?
I did. Did you? You look, well, stressed a lot of the time?
No, I had probably one of the best days I've had in a long time.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good, I guess.
I wanted to talk to you. And I figured now was the best time to do that.
What about?
Everything that's been happening with Galdevan has, I've been doing a lot of thinking about a lot of different things, and something Eurydice said to me yesterday, it really stuck with me, and I don't think she meant it. And I know she didn't now, and I've moved past that, but
I mean, she did just seem to be very upset yesterday.
yeah.
So, I'm sure you're right that whatever she did say, she didn't mean it.
No, I'm sure she didn't. But it was said and it made me think, and I'm sure if Grok was there, he'd be thinking something similar, but I can't talk for him. I can only talk for me.
What did she say?
It's not about what she said specifically. Twig, Galdevan did a lot of terrible things. She killed a lot of people. She caused the death of a lot of people. And in that moment, Eurydice wasn't wrong. Galdavan needed to pay for the things that she did. But the way that Eurydice spoke and looked at her... Twig, I don't want you to look at me that way.
Why would I look at you that way? I mean, it's not like you're with a cult or anything, so I don't understand.
Remember when I told you about how things work in the Underdark, right? I told you about the different houses and how you climb that social ladder, how you get from point A to point B, and what you have to do to get there.
Well, I mean, yes, but that's different, right?
No, it's not different. Twig, I heard a lot of people. Not just in one-on-one, not just in a fair. We would go into people's houses while they slept at night. A lot of people, a lot of kids. I am not proud of the choices that I've made. But a lot like Aldevan, I didn't have a choice. I'm not that person anymore. I truly believe that I, have changed. I don't believe in that. I don't want to be that man anymore. But there's something that is following me that won't let me move on entirely.
What's following you? I mean, I asked you before if there was anything wrong or anything that would want to hurt you about that, and you said that there wasn't, so... It's not like what Galdavan was saying, right? That, you know, you break from this and then there's gonna be people trying to hurt you?
No, it's not like that. It's a little bit more complicated than that. Something... Because of the life that I lived, Twig, something very, very bad happened. And I can't do anything to change it. And I thought that maybe if I could prove to you that I can be a different man now, it would make up for that. So I don't want you to go away. I don't want you to be afraid of me or Grok. We're some shitty people and we've done some shitty things, but we would never do them again. And we would never hurt you or let anything happen to you.
Well, I know that. Why would you need my approval for anything anyways?
Because I didn't... You see him, like, go to say something, but he just swallows and moves on.
Wait, but if you're telling me things and then you're just not telling me things, it's the same as you always do. I don't understand. And I mean, I think I get it, right? I mean, it is different, even if you say it's not. The way that things happen down there, from at least what you've said, it has to be different, right? And so then, of course, you'd be different because you're up here, you're not down there. I mean, you'd not do any of those things here, right?
Right.
So then it is different.
There's something that I want to tell you, but I'm just not ready to say it. And it's not your fault, because you have proven that you can handle just about anything. But this was the start of that. And I will tell you the rest later. But today I just want you to know that I care very much for you. And I am going to do everything in my power to make sure you have things that I didn't have. I had the best birthday today than I can remember.
Wait, but you said that your birthday wasn't, well, for months?
Yeah, I lied about that.
Wait, so your birthday has been today? And you didn't tell us?
She's not very much like childlike pout.
He just kind of like puts his hands up. I didn't think it was a big deal.
Well, I think it's a big deal.
Just gonna lean forward, hug him.
Happy birthday, then.
Thank you, Twig. And he'll hug her back.
And right at that moment, just as every ounce of light that has left the sky, and it is just this big, deep blue canvas, there is a noise you hear first, a brief whizzing, a high-pitched squeal, and then this brief, bright streak of white in the air, then nothing, and then this explosion of blues and greens and pinks, just all over the sky, exploding. Combined together, all of these different explosions just cascading the entire area around you in all of these different colors and shapes for 4 or 5 minutes, just turning that dark blue canvas into an endless night sky of color. And as all of you look up at the fireworks, you can hear the music playing off in the distance. And all of you have not a brief, a long moment of joy and happiness. Being with your friends, being high in the sky on Krucknack's wheel, watching these fireworks go off. And on that note, that is where we are going to go ahead and end tonight's session. Woo! Look at that. All right, sorry for going over there a little bit. I'm sure Jamie's KO'd right now.
Yeah, I'm wasted.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right, well, thank you all so much for watching. No need to delay any comeback on... There's no Salamander Coast this Tuesday, but on Friday, this Friday, there will be Explorers of Ephera, and next Saturday, there will be Isles of Iverion. There we go. So come back for those. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and have a good one. Farewell.